We're back, baby, with the next episode of the podcast. I just recently started to put the podcast actually on all the platforms, right? So now we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we are on Amazon Music, I think is what it is. We are also on RSS, Samsung Podcasts, like you name it. We're probably on it. I have not finished transmitting all of the episodes yet, but I've got about. Let me see how many we have so far. I think we have like. Fuck, wait, hold on.
It's a lot. It's almost 40, I think.
Yeah, but I haven't. Well, that's like the amount of um podcasts like we have in total. Because like I haven't finished uploading all of them to like these new platforms. Hold on, let me see. So the thing is, guys, sorry if like the numbers, I didn't realize like from a certain point in the podcast, I was completely like off a number. I repeated the same number for two episodes. So all of the
Fucking.
numbers like yeah. So I'm sorry if like if you hear the audio of the episode and says welcome to episode 27 and it's really episode, like 26. Sorry about that. Um so far we have 32 episodes. So I have all the way up until the mariachi episode. We're in season 2 right now in the uploads. I'm doing this 25 episodes a season, right? To get that OCD, perfect quarters, like so I can go 100 will be the end of season 4. Now, today
I'm so
um
excited for this. I don't know why.
yeah, I was not expecting this. Jason, continuing our trend of compiling playlists rather than albums, um, Jason recommended to me. I don't even remember who the fuck it was that I listened to.
I
um,
recommended to William a rap duo called City Morgue, and these guys. I started listening to them in 2018, and these guys. One of them was apparently like a ghostwriter for Tekashi 6ix9ine, and then they had a falling out. So, but they do like aggressive rap, metal, trap style. And I recently saw them a couple weeks ago in up in Maryland, and I'll have to say, I've been to a lot of metal shows, and their show by far was probably one of the most intense shows that I've been to. Everyone was just ready to kill each other. It was insane. I got a workout in there,
yeah.
but it was fun. It was a good time. I recommended this to you because I thought it would be funny. I did not expect you to like any of this at all. Although I did try to put some like versatile, like they have some slower, more meaningful songs on here, not just like aggressive gangster shit. But I thought it'd be really fun to see what you think about it.
Yeah, so this was god awful. Um, the only song that I mildly liked, let me see, just because I thought the rhythm was kind of smooth and I liked it. Let me see what it was. It wasn't the one with Denzel Curry, which I actually was expecting to like that one because I actually kind of like Denzel Curry.
Oh yeah, Drano.
Um, yeah, I didn't like that one. Well, because I didn't like any of them. But
Damn, you don't like any of them
um,
except for one.
no, what did you expect? This is like, hold on, fuck. I'm trying to get to the playlist. God damn it. Because there we go. Okay, City Morgue playlist. All right. Um, it was "Screaming at the Rain." I actually kind of liked parts of that song.
Yeah, so that's one where, like I said, it's a little bit slower, more melancholic, and they actually, talk about some semi-serious stuff. Excuse me, in their lyrics. But
Right. Yeah. Because sometimes I don't like that like just that I'm depressed kind of music, because it's like great, like we get it, but it's also like we know, like everyone fucking knows that that kind of music. It's like, yeah, I wonder why you're depressed. But then it's like this, I could actually like somewhat sympathize with the guy who was singing. Just like the way, like the tone in which he was delivering it. It was almost like kind of sad, you know. Um, where he's like I'm just praying like for something to change, but just it doesn't happen, you know. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the whole point of this kind of music is it's just release. I mean, that's the whole point of metal. Is just lot of release of negative emotions and all that. But what's interesting to me about these guys is that because like a lot of people they try to mix rap and metal, and sometimes it doesn't really work too well. But they do it from like a rap perspective, adding like some aggressive vocals and like metal like loops in the background as opposed to doing like the new metal thing or just standard screaming. Because the guy's vocal, the main dude that does like the hooks, not like the yell rapping, is actually kind of hard to do the voice that he does. It's almost similar to what the singer for Gojira does. It's like vocal cord singing that's really aggressive, kind of screaming. Like it's not like harsh vocal fry or it's not clean singing. It's like in that between, which is very hard to do without really throwing out your voice. And sometimes when you listen to him in interviews, he's really hoarse when he talks. So he's really belting it out. But I like these guys. Like I feel like their music is really catchy. The actual themes and like the stuff in the lyrics and the actual sound of it is pretty aggressive, and like it's kind of hard to get into on that aspect. And especially with their videos. Their videos are insane. They got demonetized all the time. They got taken down. They had like actual people shooting up heroin and shit in videos, like shooting off guns in public, and it's really their videos are really intense, which is funny. But a lot of the stuff is hard to get into if you're not, you know, if you're not used to rap or you don't like really get into the street life thing. But a lot of it is pretty funny. Like the first song, Wardog Anthem, where they they sampled the SpongeBob theme song in the beginning.
Yeah,
Are
that
you
was
ready,
kind of
kids?
yeah, but also I'm just like I don't know, like who the fuck like I can honestly think like honestly I could have thought of that. Just add like if I was just making some random rap song, like it just doesn't really just seem that creative to me. I don't know.
I didn't think it
Seems
was. I just
cheap
thought it was
almost.
funny. But like, what was like? I mean, obviously, besides being like aggressive, um, and just kind of like a weird mixture of styles, like, what was the main thing that you didn't like about it?
It's just annoying.
It's annoying.
Why would I not think this is annoying? And it wasn't even like really metal. The only song where I felt like it was at the fusion of metal and rap was Mother Lover.
Well,
Other
because
than that, it was all just like this. Yeah, exactly. Like when you said that this was like this guy apparently ghostwrited for Tekashi 69, that makes perfect sense.
I think it's just like
It's like
it's the aggressive style. So it's like there's some rappers that do like a kind of harder style, but like he's straight up yelling in most of the stuff, and like it just has that edge.
and it's just it's cringe, annoying, and I don't like things that are cringe and annoying and just promote stupid bullshit and just destructive behavior. It's just it's not good on any level.
I think most of it is done on like a nihilistic level or like just like as an entertainment thing because I don't know about the other guy,
Yeah, well,
but
I'm not a fan of that either.
the
I'm not a fan of nihilism at all either.
the main guy that does all the hooks, his name is Zillakami, and like he's pretty straight edge. Like I don't think he drinks or smokes or does any of that shit. It's all for like the entertainment thing, and I think it's almost like it to me it's not satirical, but it's just like always people say, oh, this is a good representation of what this kind of culture is like or what the streets are like, so have you. But I think he's almost like making fun of the people that are kind of into this. That's the impression that I get. I haven't heard him say that in interviews, but it almost seems like just like because his personality is completely different from the music that he makes, which I think is really interesting. Like most of the time, like obviously a lot of rappers have like get flack for being fake, but they're not presenting it as like a real thing.
It's still bad. I mean, there's good parodies, right? Like South Park is a great example. Um, because well, I mean, because the whole question is like, how much artistic value does parody really have, right? Um, because it's like you can't, because a lot of parody is like, you're self-congratulating yourself for criticizing something, right? But then it's like you can't really, you know, separate your work from the thing that you're criticizing. So it's almost like, wait, it's the whole question of like, well, is that originally like how much value does that have, right?
What do you mean you can't
And
separate it from the original work?
like if that original the thing you're criticizing never existed, like you wouldn't have no work. So like you're not it's not it's not a work essentially like I mean okay, I know nothing is really original or independent, but I mean parody is not passing itself off like that.
I mean, you're creating a whole entire creative storyline. I mean, I guess it just depends on how you do it. But the thing with
Well,
South Park,
this
like
is
they make like
different.
elaborate stories based off of things they're making fun of. Like obviously, sometimes they'll make not so subtle direct jabs at people. That was more in their earlier stuff, but these days, like they actually make elaborate stories with it. So I feel like even if they had
Right.
nothing
That's why
satirical to
I
parody, they still could create stories.
oh yeah, exactly. That's why I think South Park is like a prime example of like no, this is like, this definitely does have value just as much if not more than the thing it's criticizing, right? Um but I mean also like this is different with City Morgue and this kind of music because it's parroting like an idea and like a genre, There's no like
So it's not a direct like I just like that's my
exactly,
impression that
it's
I
not a
get. I don't think
direct
it's a
parody.
parody. I think it's like a
I
it's
didn't
more for
think I just
the style of it, and it's also the other thing too. It's just like it sounds I mean, obviously most people do that kind of style now, but like they were kind of the first ones to merge this sort of style back. I think they started like around like 2016 to 2017, somewhere around there. Like nobody was kind of doing this style, and like a lot of people didn't like it, but then like it's one of those ones that really grows on you. So like they have like a severe cult following. It's insane.
does it really?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they're
Man.
actually like because and that's why I tried to put like some of the slower songs that they do because like it's like a lot of it's kind of versatile. But I think like to have a genre like this like be successful is interesting to me because it's like a lot of younger kids are getting into it, not just like I mean some like older metal and punk people kind of like it. When I went to the show, there's a mixture of a bunch of different people, a lot of races, ages, genders, all that fun stuff. And I mean obviously it's probably because of the area of the country we live in general, but still it wasn't a monolith.
It still just sound like it doesn't really do anything. It just most of it, like I said, other than that one song in the beginning, it just sounded like the stupid, obnoxious 6ix9ine rap music.
I think like it's just one of those ones where like it has slightly more depth only because they do different types of stuff, and also like Takashi is just annoying as a person. Like these dudes are chill as fuck. Like you can actually
He's also like a pedo, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, he's like a like they fucking hate him. Like they have the massive beef with him.
He's in jail for life, right?
I have no idea. I think he avoided a severe amount of jail time or got out because that was the whole thing why people were pissed at him because he was snitching. But I don't know the details. I just know that he's just not well liked, even though his music is really popular, which is interesting. I don't think it
And it's
particularly like
really bad.
sounds. It's bad, but like I can't explain why it's bad. Like it just doesn't. It's like sonically it doesn't sound bad. It's just more like you can tell he's just one
Well,
dimensional. Like I think that's why I don't like his music. Is because like it doesn't physically sound bad to me. It just doesn't like push. It doesn't really push anything. I feel like these guys kind of push boundaries, especially with their videos. Like they're like believe it or not, like shot content has its place because like if you can actually like make someone have a really adverse reaction or a really positive reaction, I feel like you're doing something. And that's like the genre with any like shock genre music. I think it's just it has a special sort of like what's the right word? It has a special damn dude. I'm fucking I feel like anything that pushes the envelope, whether it's good or bad, like is more meaningful than people that play it safe. You know what I mean?
I guess. Yeah, I guess I could concede you that. When I was trying to say like what you're saying about like how 6ix9ine is so stupid. Like it not in the same way, but he's almost like that point you made about Lil Wayne, how some of his lyrics are just so stupid you just can't help but laugh.
But yeah, because it's entertaining. But like objectively, it's just fun. I mean, I think they're
I know,
creative.
but
I think they're like that's my type
some of
of humor, so
the
I think it's
stuff in
funny.
his songs, right? Exactly. Like I knew you would like agree with me here.
Yeah.
Like that song. What is it? Where he's like, what is this? Like the fly like a dragon. Like the bitches suck my dick because I fly like a lad. That shit's hilarious.
I think one of my favorites, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't fucking remember. He was like, "You give me great head, Einstein," or some shit like that.
In 6ix9ine song.
No, and fucking Lil Wayne. But no, like
Nice.
I think to me like really like because like when I first heard his music, I didn't like. It wasn't like anything special to me. It was like it just doesn't sound bad, but it just sounds like it's regular whatever street rap. But then him as a person just really fucking irritates me. So it's just that just made me not like his music even more. But these guys, I don't think they have like a stupid edge. Like I don't relate to the lyrics. I don't think I'm supposed to relate to them. But it's like when you go into the gym and you're like, yeah, I'm about to fuck shit up. But it's like that kind of energy. You know what I mean? Like it's like a really like hyper masculine, like fuck shit up kind of energy. And that's to me, I think that's the whole point. It's not meant to be taken literal. It's meant to just get you into that mindset and then just release all your shit. Especially because like when everybody's killing each other, there's one point where we like all divided up into both sides of the room to do a wall of death, and like and it was so slippery because of all the fucking beer and shit. Like I legitimately almost like cracked my head in twice. Everybody was just swarming on each other. My dude Jordan got punched in the face.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Were you a male feminist about it?
No, I mean that's what happens. You gotta expect to get
You're like,
hurt at these
oh
things.
dear.
Yeah, no, yeah, White Knight. No, I mean if someone tried to do that shit for real, then yeah, but it was an act. But you know, it's just
Oh
you
yeah.
expect to get hurt at one of those things. But like I said, when everyone, God, dude, I'm coughing. Sorry. When everyone was done, they were just lining up and just fucking hugging each other and shit. And everyone just all exhausted and just everyone got all their bullshit out. And that's what I like about it. That's the whole point. It's kind of the similar concept with metal because like you can like people listening to metal and listening to this won't find a distinction between the two. They'll just think it's both dark and evil and has no meaning, right? So like it's just the physical way that it sounds, but it's not meant to be taken literally like it is. I think that's the mistake that most people make is that you have to connect to the lyrics. It's like you really don't.
Right. I'm looking up these guys right now. Yeah, right. Actually, you really don't need to look up the like you don't really need to care much about I mean, actually some of them the lyrics like I said are good, like in Screaming at the Rain, but other than that, it's just this whole nonsense like childish like sense of masculinity and everything of just like shooting people and whatever. But I'm looking up these guys right now. They look no different than 6ix9ine.
Yeah, they got the face tats and all that shit. But
I love those.
the other song that was a little bit more meaningful was Space Cowboy. Like he wrote that about his friend committing suicide.
Hmm.
So like the lyrics in that one were meaningful too. Um, but
Actually, yeah, that makes sense. But take you back to that song, yeah.
yeah. But I like the biggest thing, and this is what everyone says about people that can't rap or like rappers that are mediocre, is that like the beats and the actual instrumentation of the shit is really fucking cool. Like besides like the vocals, like what do you think about just like the actual beats and instruments that they use in there?
It's just I don't know. I mean, does it do anything different than like other rap music or? It, I mean, like it just sounded like regular rap music to me.
I think it just
Not necessarily like in a good or bad way. It just sounded like rap music.
to me it's
Like, do they?
nostalgic because it does that like
Sorry.
sound like that early like 2015 16 SoundCloud kind of era. It's like the beats I think are way more creative than just using standard like 808s and hi-hats and shit like that. Like it actually like I think my favorite
Yeah,
like looped instrumental was on Snow on the Bluff where it's like the vocals that were just warped and interchanged to go forever. Like I always like that kind of style.
I don't remember that. Fuck. A lot of it just blended together for me. I'm sorry. Um, I did actually kind of feel that with. the screaming at the rain. Because like I said, I really like the rhythm and everything.
Yeah, a lot of it
Um,
is like melodic looped guitar melodies too on the slower
yeah,
stuff.
right. And that mixed really well. I loved the well, like not just the actual words themselves of just trying to find like desperately trying to find meaning and like something can it please change and stuff like that. I loved the actual placement of the words, right? And like the like if I like what is it like like well yeah like the timing and like the measures that they're placed on and everything.
Yeah.
It all fell into place really well.
Yeah, and that's why I like his style because I feel like he makes really catchy hooks. And what I think is interesting, like if you listen to him talk in interviews, he said like his main influence, well, not maybe his main influences, but he doesn't really like listen to that much rap. He mainly listens to like grunge, like Soundgarden, Slipknot, stuff like that.
Ah, oh really? Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I think I don't know, I think it just there's a difference between catering to a specific audience and just making whatever you want to make kind of thing. But yeah, I didn't go into this thinking you'd like it at all. I just was curious. I've actually was curious to find like listen like to for you to pick the song that you actually did like. But that one makes sense. I really like that one too. They played that one live too when
Yeah.
I saw them. Like that's a more it's like that middle of the set when everyone needs to cool down so they don't fucking die of dehydration.
Eh, yeah. Is that like what you expected me to say for my answer?
I didn't expect you to like it, but I didn't expect you to like massively hate it because I feel like a lot of people that can get into because like obviously like you listen to some rap and I feel like Tyler the Creator makes more unconventional music than this because I feel like these guys like all their stuff kind of flows and like most of it's catchy and like it's a very simple beat to get it. Well, I feel like sometimes Tyler raps more free form, so that's why I thought you'd like
Yeah.
enjoy it a little bit
Tyler
more.
like right, yeah, because Tyler doesn't he's not really he's not monolithic. He's very like some of his music I'm like, is that what are you doing? Not like um because like he doesn't have that one style. Because like you don't like necessarily listen to a song. Well, in my opinion, at least, like I know I'm sure there's a bunch of people that would disagree, but like I think with Tyler, like there's a bunch of times where it's like you're like, wait, that's a Tyler song? Because I don't think he has like, well, it's because I don't think he has like that one kind of sound, right? I mean, when I think of
Yeah.
like when I think of Tyler, I think of Igor, but then but that's like his least freeform stuff. That's like I mean, it has elements of that, but then a lot of his stuff like Wolf, I was like, is this is really the same guy?
No, I know he's versatile. My whole point is that like when he's doing like straight up rapping, like sometimes it's not really. I don't want to say it's not on beat, but like he has that old school, like more like kind
Right,
of
yeah.
free flow. So like it doesn't like he
That's what
doesn't
I'm
really
talking
make
about.
catchy hooks. Is my point.
I'm trying to think if there is a song where he has one.
I know he does, but like the majority of it doesn't.
When he's rapping, because I know like there's like the choruses of the songs, especially on Igor, that are really good.
Yeah.
But
Um,
um,
like the one I
you can
can think
tell
of off the top of my head is "Answer." I really like that song.
which album is that on?
That's like I think it's on Goblin. It's like it's very
Oh,
early.
I've
This one where
probably haven't
he's
listened to
rapping
that.
about his hating his dad. He calls him the
Oh
F
yeah.
word.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, you ever heard that song?
No.
I don't know. I think for me, I like really raw shit because it's kind of what I grew up on. So like to me, it doesn't matter if it's rap, metal, whatever the fuck, blues, right? I just like really raw shit, the shit that you're not supposed to listen to or say. I always just gravitate towards it, and I feel like there's different ways to do it. And I don't know. I just like the way these guys do it. I think mainly because like because I feel like it's more of a criticism. Like it is like I don't think it's glorifying it. I think it's just like using those themes for the energy, but also just like like relishing in how absurd that it is. So like that's why they're doing it. Like they're saying absurd things for that reason. If you get what I'm saying, it's not like meant to be like yeah we're cool because we say this. If that makes sense.
Perhaps.
Because I feel like with Takashi, like that's actually like what he sees himself as. Like he thinks like he's that badass guy that runs the streets when he's not. You know what I mean? That's the disingenuous part. That's why I think they're like they may sonically sound similar, but like they're totally different energies. And I think I
Right.
subconsciously just hear that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about it.
Yeah, I really just did this more for the memes. I don't know why.
Yep, episode's done, baby. Woo, shortest episode. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not. It's weird because like it's not a style that I usually like. That I think they're the only guy. It's like with a lot of bands that I listen to, I feel like sometimes like, oh, this is the only band in this genre that I like. You know, expand on my horizons.
Yeah,
Because
the Latin Brothers are the only salsa group that you connected to.
it's just how I've been, man. It just takes like, I feel like I need to listen to the best of each genre, and that's what I connect with. Because I can just tell subconsciously like who's got it and who doesn't.
Dude, they have so much more like really good songs.
I'm sure they do, but
Yeah, like they love their fiddles.
fiddles.
Yeah, or their violins or whatever they
Oh
use
yeah,
for
yeah.
like for those songs I showed you.
Yeah, no, I think they have a great sound.
Yeah, we do.
I like having I just like that I'm into music like this in general. I can listen to stuff like this and then Latin music and whatever and just enjoy everything for what it is, you know?
A lot of music out there, man.
But but cool, we got one out of 16. At least they're all short, so like 16 songs is like 35 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't that much to listen to. It wasn't that much of a commitment. I listened to most of it today, actually. Oh, no, that's what you do anyways. So
What do you mean?
you just listen to it the same day, right?
Not always.
Of the pop. Okay. Okay.
I re-listened to it. Dude, I'm just trying not to cough. My God, this is gonna be a weird episode. I listened to most of it. I re-listened to most of it on like a little bit before we do it just to refresh myself because you know me, I really have to go in depth into things. But no, sometimes you just need a couple days to sit with it.
That is true. I started listening to this a couple days before, and I was like, yeah, I don't have the patience for this right now. Also, I'm like, I don't want anyone to catch. I was like, I don't want anyone to catch me watching this music.
I was like waiting for you to like be
Sorry,
doing the dishes in your
listening
house.
to this music. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not stupid to that.
I warned you though. I didn't just like let you go in blind. I prefaced it.
Wait, did you say what it was?
I told you that you're probably not gonna like it or it's gonna be outside your comfort zone, but just give it a listen. So
Well, yeah, but like I didn't. I didn't really. I still didn't even really know what genre of music it was gonna be. Like I really had no idea what it was.
I thought I told you, but yeah, at least I warned you that you weren't gonna like it.
Well, there's a lot of things I'm not gonna like. I mean, metal infused rap is probably gonna be one of those things. Right. Um,
I could see them coming out with like a straight alternative album. So like
yeah, I might listen to that.
they just do like band stuff, but it's the same kind of catchy choruses, maybe like a little bit like stylistically rhythmic, you know, verses. But I can see like because like these guys are like around our age, like they're in their early 20s, how you know probably you know develop and do new sounds the more like you know 5 years from now. It's not like they're old doing this forever.
Nah, man, they're old.
In the entertainment industry, they're probably fucking old. Like you're on your way out. You can't be 30 and be a rapper. What are you doing?
How old is Jay-Z? Well, actually, no one cares about him anymore.
He might be in his 50s now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's old. Also, Ice Cube's pretty old.
I feel like the only reason why Jay-Z's relevant is because he's married to Beyonce.
Honestly,
Yeah. Because no one would give a fuck about
Um,
him if he wasn't.
Man, what even are his songs? I don't even know.
I don't remember. I never thought. Again, he's one of those people. I don't think his
Oh,
music sounds bad. I just never got into it.
oh, he did that song with Alicia Keys. It's pretty good. The
Oh,
New
yeah,
York,
yeah,
New
yeah.
York State of Mind.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's the version. There's the version of it where he's not in it, which is better. and
Yeah,
it's just Alicia Keys. That's a great song. But that's the only song I know for him.
yeah, I couldn't tell you. The same thing with I like NWA. I don't know if I've listened to Ice Cube's solo music, but I like the early stuff. You know that Ice T is in a
Never
metal
li-
band.
Who is?
Ice T, the guy on Law and Order.
Wait, I've never seen that.
Have you never seen Law and Order?
I don't know, cause I don't give a shit about this anymore. I just listen to Spanish music and watch Spanish stuff.
You never watched Law and Order as a kid? It's such a popular show. I know you know who Ice Cube or Ice T is.
No, I know Ice Cube, but like, let me look up this guy.
He's got a
There's a bunch of
ponytail.
dude. There's a bunch of stuff that we just didn't really watch.
Law
Of
and
course,
Order was a great show.
I look up Ice Tea and then just like the drink comes up.
Safe search
Ice
on.
Tea rapper.
Yeah.
Ice Tea rapper. I don't know this guy.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
God, dude, you are.
Oh, Ice Tea. Okay. Like, what are some of his songs?
He had an album back in I think it was '80s or '90s called Cop Killer, where he was just straight up rapping. But these days he's in a metal band. That's kind of like
What?
a harder version of Rage Against the Machine, but like
Never listened to them either.
I saw him at a Blue Ridge Rock Fest, and it's weird. He's one of those people that's like I've seen him on TV forever, so it's just weird to see him live playing in a band. And he brought his daughter out, and his daughter is like 6 or she's like young, and they have this song called "Talk Shit Get Shot," and then he brings her out on stage, and he was like, "All right, now what did I tell you to tell bullies?" And you're like, "Talk shit, get shot," and they just start the song.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay.
Fuck.
Yeah, it says. Oh, fuck, it's in Spanish.
Fuck me, man.
He's in the band of rap metal Body Count.
Yeah, Body Count. I
That
like
sounds like a band I like.
some of their music is okay, but I like that song a lot. But they're not bad live. Their actual guitar players are really good.
Okay. Okay.
Dude, I'm like coughing every 3 seconds. What the fuck is happening?
What the fuck, like, even is rap music? Answer that question for me, Jason. Like, what even is it?
It's a rhythmic form of poetry with jazzy, aggressive, or electronic samples. I don't know. What do you think it is?
That's a pretty good definition.
Dude, I've seen videos of like these old fucking like boomer composers and they're just like rap's not music. It's just like what do you define as music? Like it's not all rhythm. They have melodies too, especially in the background instrumentation, so it's like I don't get their point. I get why people don't like it. I don't understand why people don't think it's music. Because like metal I can
Yeah.
understand because like, you know, the distortion's harsh, harder to pick out notes. Screaming's harsh if they're not singing. So it's like that I get. People not into it, they listen to it, it just sounds like noise, whatever. But like you can understand rap. Like you clearly hear what they're saying and you can hear the instruments in the background. Like I don't get why people don't think it's like not or I don't get why they think it's not music.
You can make the case. Well, I remember. Well, so I don't agree with Ben Shapiro's take, but he said it was because like the thing you said, where there's harmony, melody, and rhythm, right? And then Ben Shapiro said it only fulfills one of those,
Not true
and there's
though.
no
That's
melody and
that's
harmony.
so not true. There's tons of rap songs with
That's
harmony and melody.
that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe that just comes from like, he's not like necessarily he hasn't listened to a lot of it or something like that. I don't know, but like I can see like why those people think that. But also like Ben Shapiro actually did come out and say like, yeah, because he sat down with Zuby and Zuby convinced him that that rap music is music. But then he's like, all right, fine, it's music, but I don't think it's good music.
Right, that's their point. They just don't like it, but like they can't prove that. Like it's such an ignorant thing to say that it's not music. Like how are you? Like who are you? How and who are you to prove it? Like what the fuck?
I mean, you can just compare it because I mean, it's a very unique style of music, right? It's almost like you can make a case that it's just something differently entirely. Not necessarily like it's below me. I mean, I kind of would say that, but like I like you can make a case that it's a completely other art form, right? Because it combines like because it's that it rides that line between like poetry and song, right? Because song, I mean, it's the same concept, right? Where you're just reciting some sort of, you know, like you know what I mean, right? Wait,
Nobody,
let me look up.
yeah, I don't. But it's a dumb argument to start with because nobody looks at it like a drum line or anything percussive and like, oh, that's not music. It's purely just rhythm. There's no melody. There's no anything else. It's literally just rhythm. But people wouldn't say that's not music. It's because they just don't like
What?
it.
What?
Like just like a drum line, pure rhythm, banging on a drum, making a beat. Like somebody would like no one goes to a drum line like, oh, this isn't music. What are they doing? Like I've never heard this before. Like no, they just mind like they either don't mind it or they like it.
It's weird because I'm like, what would people say that is?
The point being, like
Like,
anything rhythmic, melodic, or both is music. Anything you can fucking like tap into and dance to or whatever to, it's music.
yeah, it's not necessarily good music.
Well, that like and that's fine. They can argue that, but like their point that it isn't
Well,
music is
it's
really
yeah,
dumb.
but that's kind of like the whole like what is art argument because then like if anything like that is just like art, just anything that just like it's my self-expression, then it's like, well, okay, then like why is like a picture of my dick not art, you know? Like there has to be limits when it comes to these things, right?
Yeah, but I don't
Um
think it tests the limits. Like they're not like it's not a dude just holding down a note on a keyboard. You know what I mean? Like it has clear defined melodies, has clear defined rhythm. Like it's not that difficult of a thing to get into. I think people don't like it because of the cultural aspect of it. Honestly.
yeah, but also like it's there's some people that like it's just they think it's genuinely bad, like me. Like I mean not all of it obviously, but also like even the stuff that I like, I would have no problem if it was just erased from history in our culture and society because like it doesn't really do anything. I mean, it can be entertaining, but like the stuff that it does and like the way it just like promotes all of this bullshit, like it's not constructive.
Well, it depends on the genre. Like it's like the thing like most of the things that are the most popular usually aren't that good. But like you can talk about anything. Doesn't have to be that kind of shit.
Yeah, but it's like there well cuz like there used to be like obviously not necessarily written laws, but just certain things where it's like yeah, people just kind of understood that to be bad, right? Like you don't draw a painting, like sorry, you don't just make a painting of Mary with like cow shit on her. Like that's atrocious. Like that should never ever be made. And it's like you can call me just some whiny triggered like Christian man, but it's like I don't care. That's not something that should be like promoted by our culture.
Yeah, but not all of it is provocative like that, and doesn't have the intention of being
Well,
provocative.
I'm giving an example of something like that.
No,
So
yeah,
like
that I
it's
get.
not right. So that's what I'm trying to say is like it's not. I mean, obviously that is part of the argument is the cultural thing, right? But also like I mean, like art is very much like it says a lot about a culture, right? Like what we sing about, um, what we actually like produce, right? Of like what are our means of coping with life, right? And I just think like rap music, it's just and like I said, I know not everything because I know all of these like triggered people are just gonna be like, you can't just like just put like you can't just like generalize it in the whole thing. It's like yeah, I know. Okay, I'm just speaking. It's I just generally speaking like the vast majority of stuff like it sounds ugly. It's not beautiful. It's
So,
like when I listen.
okay.
What's up?
No, go ahead, keep going.
It was like wait. I looked up the definition of music. Let me see. Vocal or instrumental sounds or both combined in such a way to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. Hmm.
Very vague.
The written the written or printed signs representing vocal or instrumental sound. Right, so it's like, could you transcribe that rap song for me, please?
You could. Technically, everything is on a note.
Like, do people do that? I want to see what that looks like.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Go look up covers on YouTube. People make full rap song covers on piano and it sounds like the song. That's why I think this argument is stupid. Because they're just ignorant to how music actually works. They just can't admit that they don't like it for the sake of not liking it. They have to like put some scientific reason that is they don't understand. So they're just arguing from ignorance. It's not a winning argument to make. It just isn't.
Yeah, but like, I'd still rather hang out with someone like that as opposed to someone who just like loves rap music.
Well, the fans are a different story. I'm not. Let's make that fucking clear. And but by the way, I'm like that with metal too.
Well,
I fucking hate
no, but not
metal
just
fans too, but I love the genre.
not just fans necessarily, like in that sense of the word. I just mean like just people who, well, because the vast majority of people just listen to awful rap music, right? Because that's just what the popular thing in our country is.
Yeah, but people also listen to awful pop and awful country. Like the most awful forms of music are the most popular. Like that's also not a winning argument. Any popular genre of music sucks.
But like, I'd rather hang out with somebody who listens to awful country than someone who listens to awful rap music.
Oh man, I couldn't even pick. If you were to
Yeah,
tell
at
me
least like
if you were to tell me
like
hang out with
awful.
someone that listens to fucking Toby Keith or hang out with someone that listens to Blueface, I would probably just consider shooting myself. Honestly, fucking
Um.
kill me.
Well. I don't know. Like, there's country music where it's just kind of relaxing. I don't know.
Again, you're going based off how
um.
it sounds though. Like I feel like
I
country
know,
music is
but
music, but I fucking hate it. Like I think it's lazy, boring, and repetitive. For the most
yeah,
part. For the most part,
I
obviously
would.
there's country artists that I like, but for the
I,
most part,
I
as
would.
a
I
genre,
would agree with you, but I would rather put on in the background country music than rap music.
because it's an easier listen, it's more palatable, and that's what I hate about it. It's
Well,
like
I don't. I'm just talking about how I feel. I'm not talking about I'm trying to cater to somebody. I'm just saying, like, in my house, if I'm just sitting down, I would rather put. I mean, okay, I don't want either of those shit playing in my house in public. I don't want to be caught listening to that music. I don't want to just even listen to it by myself. But if I really had to pick between the two pieces of turd to consume, I would rather pick the country music because there's more redeeming qualities.
I feel like I would only like to listen to like country, like shitty country over shitty rap for a little bit, and then I would get so fucking bored and irritated because at least with the shitty rap, it's somewhat entertaining for the most part, like to make fun of. The country is just all around fucking like,
But the country you
God,
can make fun of too, because every
how?
song is just about my baby and how she gets like my like drinks the whiskey and it makes her frisky and everything.
I have
It's
heard some
just
funny lyrics in country songs, but the majority of it they just say the same shit, and it's just not funny. It's just like you can expect it.
but that's like I could literally say the same thing about like the like Blueface level rap music, and not even that. I think more of rap is bad and is just annoying and is the same shit like rather than country.
I think it's well,
Because there is some country that's just it's genuinely like beautiful music.
this more older style, not really modern.
Well, it doesn't matter. That
It does because that's what you're more exposed to.
but like how does that mean like what is good or like I've listened to all kinds of country music.
No, my point is that like for getting exposed to shitty like I feel like for rap and country like those are the two genres where like you're exposed to the shittiest of them. So I feel like if you don't actually like country or rap, there's obviously millions of artists that are underground or smaller that you and I probably would both really love, but we're never going to hear them because we don't seek that shit out. Like I don't really like seek the internet looking for new rap music to listen to. I do that with bands, but I'm going to hear more shitty rap than rap that I like. Same thing with country. I'm gonna hear more shitty country than country that I like.
Right, but I just think like from the stuff I've listened to, like obviously like, yeah, the popular stuff and whatever. Fuck. Sorry about that.
Damn, we're both dying tonight. Every time I'm done talking, I'm muting the mic and coughing.
Oh,
I'm like sweating here. Jesus.
um, ignore that. All right. Um, yeah. Well, I like some Darius Rucker songs.
I think I've heard it.
Like,
His lyrics are kind of funny, aren't they?
yeah, I like his cover of yeah, I like his cover of Wagon Wheel, but I
Okay.
will always like the Crow Medicine Band version of it better.
You know what's funny is that we know a guy that owns a bar and sometimes we'll hang out on the weekends and listen to live music. He fucking hates that song and we always like recommend people to play it just to piss him off.
Yeah, like the Darius Rucker version is good, but I think the Old Crow Medicine Band version, like they really hit that. It's not as like overproduced, and like it has that old timey just like banjo Alabama feel, and it has like a really nice harmony too.
Yeah, I mean,
But also,
yeah.
John Denver, that he's the man.
I like Country Roads, but it's the only song that I know from him.
You don't know? Thank God I'm a country boy.
Maybe. Doesn't sound
He
familiar.
did a bunch of stuff. But yeah, like he's one of those guys like I don't know necessarily a lot of like the names of the songs, but I just know his sound and I really like him. Like I like that kind of country music. It's almost more just like folk music, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
it would be more folky, I would think.
right. I love that kind of country. But then like I'm trying to wonder like when did it get so like I don't know. Like when did it get so just like when it got kind of poppy or whatever?
Yeah, and almost like they mix rap hi-hats with it too. It's really strange.
Well, yeah, no, they're much more similar styles of music than you think they are.
Oh, you
Not
wanna talk about
not
the worst music
not
ever made?
you, but
No,
like
no, I know.
but just in general, yeah.
You wanna know the worst comment is like country rap. Have you ever heard that shit? Like Kid
I
Rock
think
shit. Oh, it's awful,
I think not where it's like explicitly a fusion of the two, no.
dude. I don't know
Um
why, because like I think it takes the shittiest parts of rap and the shittiest parts of country, and merges it into one like
ultimate
Suboxone,
shit.
fucking suburban Wrangler drivers like you'd ever pit vipers, all that shit. Like it's just it's fucking awful.
Mm. Oh, where did rap even start?
I think in Brooklyn
Like okay.
back in the 70s, maybe earlier. I think I don't know. I'm not too
Oh,
versed
yeah,
on
like
rap history.
with like the Run DMC.
I don't know. I don't listen to Run
Why not?
DMC.
I know Beastie Boys.
No, Beastie Boys that were not pioneers of rap.
Oh, that's rap music.
No, I know, but they were like a
Well, they're old though. I know.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm not necessarily saying pioneers. I'm just saying like old people, like old rap people. I know.
yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it
Mm.
started somewhere in New York.
I need to show you this Brazilian rap, which I do kind of like.
What does it sound like?
It sounds kind of like '90s rap,
Okay,
but it's in Portuguese.
Spanish rap's kind of funny because they're all like high pitched and nasally, and they're always. You know me, Navato, que me Navato, me shoot you to your house and come kill you and your daughter, blah 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 blah. It's just, what the fuck?
Yeah, you know what bato is, right?
I have no idea. Why don't you educate me?
Um, Actually, it's one of those words where like I understand it when I'm speaking Spanish, like subconsciously. I'm just like, yeah, like ese vato, you know. But like if I have to, yeah, I'm sure it just means like asshole or like retard or something like that. I mean, it's just a negative like insult.
Depends on
Vato.
how you say it, because I've heard people, use it as a term of endearment too.
Right. Or it could just mean like dude.
Yeah,
Like it's very informal.
Vato.
Um, let me look up in the Spanish dictionary.
But yeah,
Like,
I don't get into Spanish rap. I can't get into it for some reason because it kind of borders the reggaeton shit, and I don't know, doesn't
yep, and we know you guys know how we feel about that.
doesn't cream
Yeah,
my
I mean,
elote, son.
it comes up as dude
Yeah, it's what it sounds like.
or guy. Yeah.
But I
But
don't know.
it kind of like from the people I talk to, it kind of has like a negative connotation.
Like I said, it just depends on how you say it.
Or it could honestly, you can make it's kind of similar to like the N word in that respect,
No,
where
it's
it
not
gets like
that bad.
no, but
Is
like
it?
no, but like depending, no, not necessarily to that extreme, but like it's one of those words where like depending on who is saying it, it could be a term of endearment, right?
I see.
Or like if you're not, a certain kind of person, it could mean something really bad, right?
Like gringo.
Right. So it could be like a culture. Yeah, no, even though gringo is literally a racial slur.
Is it?
Yeah, kind of.
I thought it really just meant American more than the white skin thing.
It's like,
I don't know what
it
it
doesn't
directly
just
translates to. I just assumed it was like
no,
white American.
it generally like it pretty much translates to foreigner,
Okay, because like I didn't,
but it
I can't imagine like someone like from Sweden going to Mexico and them calling them a gringo. I guess maybe if they saw them, but like
oh
didn't
no,
talk to them.
they absolutely would be gringos.
Oh, okay.
So like anyway, it's pretty much like it generally means like an Anglo, like Canadian or American who's
Yeah.
just out of touch with like Hispanic stuff, right? But like Italians are not gringos, if you know what I'm saying, because they're more Latin. They're not
Right.
as light skinned. They got a lot of that, mafia shit going on. So like they're like, yeah, you guys get a pass. Also, like, Brazilians are not gringos. The Portuguese and the Spanish are not gringos, depending on who you talk to.
Right.
Um, but yeah, like anything Western Europe, like Northwestern European, you're gringo.
I don't know anybody that actually gives a fuck about it, unless people want to fake
No, I
outrage.
mean, it's just like, I mean, it like I said, it all depends on just who you talk to. Some people like it's just a joke. Some people it actually is like a racial slur. Some people it's just trying to just address like it's just referring to a specific group of people, right? um, and it's just a convenient way of saying just like white people because it's just one word.
It's like us calling everyone else Mexicans. They're foreigners. It's the same thing.
It's the equivalent, yeah, because we just say the Mexicans, right?
Yeah. No, I get it. We all are the
Um,
same but different. I understand.
but I love how like every Hispanic restaurant here, it just says like whatever the country is, and Mexican.
It's a fusion.
Even right, even though
Tex-Mex.
it has no Mexican stuff in there. Cause like they know that like just the average Joe isn't gonna see like Honduran restaurant and be like,
They don't have
oh yeah.
margaritas. Taco Tuesday.
Right, exact
Yeah, dude.
exact that's like I think that was like the Urban Dictionary definition of or one of the Urban Dictionary definitions of gringo. It was like um drinking margaritas on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
because like most wait, you know that like the whole Cinco de Mayo thing is so like it's such a scam. Like you know what the holiday celebrates?
who gives a fuck though? Because like no one actually takes holidays seriously. Like who cares?
No, I know, but like most holidays like you can understand why they're celebrated. But like with Cinco de Mayo, I'm like, wait, no. Mexico, you kind of like are really a pieces of shit for that.
Well,
like
yeah.
like they owed France money that like they said they were gonna give them, and it was pretty fair, like the terms and everything. And then they just didn't do it, and then France is like, wait, what? And then they're like, no, we don't want to pay it. And then France came, and then they just beat them on their own soil. So like they're just celebrating like not fulfilling an agreement essentially.
Yeah, it's like me when I don't want to pay my taxes and they want to come down and fight me. Like, fuck 'em. I'll celebrate that.
No, but that's like different though because this is about like something that they like. I'm pretty sure there was even like a treaty and everything. But yeah. Well,
I mean,
either
why do we
way,
celebrate Thanksgiving? That's a fucking scam, too. Like, who gives a fuck? Just
no,
celebrate
but
with your
that
family.
actually
Who gives a shit?
no, but that actually is like a good story though.
No, it's not.
With
It's
like,
not the real
yes, it,
story that we learned.
what is the real story then?
We did not fucking come together and share a meal, bro.
Yes, they fucking did.
No
They like
way.
yes, they fucking did. I mean, not it. It didn't last for very
It was
long.
not cordial. I feel like, I mean, obviously we know what actually happened. Like, who knows? Because, like, I don't know, like, they showed us how to farm and shit, but then it was, like, really one-sided. So, like, even if they did cordially share a meal, like, it's been presented in every media you can think of, like, it's, the whole premise was out of, treachery. It was never supposed to be, like, coming together. Like, people try to celebrate Thanksgiving. Like, that's why I think it's just whatever. Just celebrate with your family. Who cares?
Yeah, but like people who try to just like people who say, "Oh, it's not the real story." Most of those people are just like ruining it
You don't have to
because
ruin
like
it.
they're
It's just
just
like it's just like any historical thing that we celebrate probably was the exact opposite intention. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a fuck? Just celebrate. Spend
well,
time.
how the fuck do you know that? Well,
You
because
don't
then
know that
it's
for
like,
sure.
yeah, but then it's like with that, it's like, well, then what do you like? You can't celebrate anything.
My point is you can celebrate whatever you want, but just understand that, it doesn't have to be historically accurate for what you're celebrating. Who gives a fuck?
But like the
Not,
whole dinner thing like did happen. Like I said, what happened after that's like that's a different story.
I honestly don't even remember. It's
But
been
like the
like
whole
so many times,
thing
so many
with
years since I've learned it, and people are like, no, that didn't happen. This happened, blah, blah, blah. So I don't even fucking truly remember. All I remember is that, like, the way that they taught it in school was like they either should have just waited to not tell kids it or just tell them, like, what the intention was and what was the outcome, as opposed to, like, oh, it's a special time where we come
yeah, but
together and
like
show different
that's
cultures. Like, I don't know, it's just
they
cringy.
don't even teach like that's not even what they teach at school anymore.
So I learned.
They don't fucking teach that anymore. Now they teach like what you're saying, where it's like it was all fake. It's a scam. It was like
Well,
all
because
this bullshit.
that was their intention in the first place. They were just there to extort the land and the people for resources and fucking, and like that was. I mean, obviously, if you go back in time, whatever their intention was, they'll tell you. You kind of have to guess, but like there's like based off of what actually happened, there's no way you can sit there and say this was a cultural exchange. That was
I mean,
beneficial on both
well,
sides.
the whole beneficial part that's different, but it was a cultural exchange. Because like they showed them how to do all this farming, they didn't have anything. These people like had to go through these brutal winters, right? And then Squano was like, "All right, I'm showing you guys how to do all this shit." Because Squano was really cool. But then the um the actual Squano and then like the other chief, like I remember they actually wanted to. They like I know there's a bunch of pilgrims. That's how I understand it. That like actually didn't want to do anything with the natives. They were like, "Ew, gross." But then but like some of them actually showed them the Bible and the gospel and everything like that. And then the leader of the tribe was like, "Hey, that Bible thing you showed, that was pretty cool. I think we got to give you some in return and everything."
I'm sure there was personal accounts, but like just the overall mission was not to like. Obviously, they did share cultural experiences objectively, but like that wasn't the goal. They were just trying to extort them.
Well, yeah, because they were on the brink of death. Who wouldn't extort someone if you're on the brink of death?
I don't think it would have mattered. I feel like they were just, as was manifest destiny. They were just gonna fucking take what they thought was their God given right to do it. I don't think it would have mattered. But yeah, obviously desperation is a. But I don't like. They also weren't clear like if that's how it was in the beginning or they just met the natives when they were fucking struggling. I don't fucking remember. But I don't know. The point is like for holidays, like who gives a shit? Like no one cares about the true meaning of Christmas anymore. Who cares about the true
Well,
meaning
I
of
do.
Thanksgiving? Who cares about the true
I
meaning of
do.
Halloween? I know, but most people don't. If you were to take a poll, I'd say more than half the country doesn't give a fuck. Most people just
Well,
want
right, but like,
vacations to celebrate with their family. Like, like they just want a holiday. Like, actually, like I don't give a fuck about what holidays mean.
yeah,
It's just
but then
the
like,
fun times.
what the fuck are you celebrating then?
You don't have to celebrate anything. You can just, like I said, enjoy the time with your family. Celebrate
So
you
then it's
being
not a
together.
celebration.
You don't have to. My point is, like, you don't have to celebrate the holiday. You just celebrate the occasion or celebrate your
What
job.
is it?
Shit,
What
it
is
just
the
doesn't matter.
occasion then? Like, if there is nothing to celebrate about, if it actually doesn't mean anything, then what is the point of doing all of these things?
Because, like I said, it's a break. It's a vacation. You see family. Like, you can celebrate your job promotion. Maybe you had a kid. I don't fucking know. You can pick whatever you want to celebrate. It doesn't matter.
But then people are gonna pick like dumb shit to celebrate.
They already do. Like, you really think St. Patrick's Day? People are like, oh, I love the religious and historical context of fucking St. Patrick's Day. No, they just want to drink. They're celebrating nothing. They just want to get drunk. Who gives a
Well,
fuck?
it doesn't. Yeah, I know, but like, if 100 years ago that wasn't the fucking case, that was like 100 years ago that wasn't the case with any holiday.
It's because like there is no reason. You want to know that here's your answer. 100 years ago, people are more serious about shit that didn't matter. So like these days, you're like, oh, this really doesn't matter to take this holiday seriously. Like why? Like
It's
for
kind of
what
no, but
reason?
like, it's kind of the opposite. Like 100 years ago, people took like everything that mattered seriously, and now it's the complete fucking opposite. We take all of the bullshit and shit that is really gay and stupid. Like, we take all of that stuff super seriously, but then anything that actually like sustains like long like societies for like long times, like we don't give incentives to actually do those things.
Because
Because
it
that's
doesn't
like,
matter. Objective. I mean, I
yes,
get the
it
point.
fucking
No,
does. Because if you
why? Why
don't
does it
do that,
matter?
because then you don't even have a society anymore. Because when you don't do that, that's why you get all of this like this fucking like grossness and crime and all of like this like people are literally like murdering. I know people
They had all
always
that
do
shit
that
back
shit.
then. That's never changed.
Yeah, but it's like this is at like this is like the state that we're at. It's like we've never fucking seen it to this scale of just like mental illness.
I mean, I think it's always been here. I don't. I think, but people just walking around saying they have it to feel sympathy. I feel like that's because like we're more connected. I feel like back in the day, more people were fucking insane, and that's why like Vlad the Impaler, Bloody Mary, fucking like I can name like 10 historical figures that probably had some fucked up shit in their brain, but they just didn't have a
Oh,
way
but
to
I
fucking categorize it.
well, that's like one single high status person. I'm fucking talking about just average Joes.
Well, you don't know. I mean, do you have the context of the average medieval peasant? Like, no one wrote about those fucking people. They only wrote about historical significant people. You have no
That's a
idea.
different story, but it's given the 100 example, like sorry, 100 year examples like you gave, like when you take a look at like how community structure was, people actually like went to church and everything because like there was like the only entertainment there was just actually being around with other people. So there was no reason to just stay at home and be a weirdo, right? Because like most people who are weirdos are just assholes and just say like, "Oh, it's just who I am." And I'm like, "No, it's because like you're just addicted to vice, right? And shit that it's like has been condemned for a long time, right? But then we actually like look at it, like I said, you could see why these things have been condemned for as long as they have, right? And like it's really just the breakdown of like community structure. That's like really the big thing. And this
Well,
whole like just it's your own meaning and all of this like Nietzsche nihilist garbage. Like it does literally nothing good.
my point is the whole entire concept of holidays in modern life is the point of community. And like I said, spending time with your loved ones, but not giving a fuck or celebrating the historical significance of that said holiday. It's like with Thanksgiving. Do you really sit down and think about the fucking pilgrims and the Indians for Thanksgiving? Do you really sit there and
Not
think about it? No.
not for Thanksgiving, but I think about it for
Exactly.
Christmas.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
but that's just one example because I don't give as much of a shit about the nation of the United States of America as much as I do Jesus Christ,
So you pick your battles.
or
It doesn't matter. Like people like, well, somebody might really love the historical significance of Thanksgiving, but not give a shit about Christmas. I don't fucking know. Like it doesn't. The point is, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
If
but the
you,
the problem is like now we're saying nothing fucking matters. But that's the problem now because now it's like everything is just the fucking same. The whole myth of like just be unique. It's like we all end up like being the same boring like Reddit user.
no, I get it's
Like
not good to
I
be apathetic and all that shit, and you have to take things seriously. But I feel like most things that are presented, like you said, like the way modern life is, like there really is not much to care about. So like that's why you're supposed to make up your own meanings for things and
well,
celebrate things in
no,
your own way.
there is stuff to care about by like not doing all of this bullshit. Like you can find meaning in your life wherever you are, right? But um yeah, but like the whole finding your own meaning, it's like you can just go back to like what the actual meaning is. And there you go. Like this whole I need to discover myself. Like what? Like what are you fucking talking about? Like seriously.
You're
Because it's
jumping
like when
around.
you
I'm trying to follow what you're saying. What do you mean? Like if you're finding your own internal meaning in a holiday? What?
well, it's
I'm
like finding your whole in like you're like discovering yourself and all this bullshit because it's like the whole like the way that people literally up until like the last 60 years of human history, right? Thought about everything was like, you know, it's not just me, right? Like I'm a son, right? I will be a father, I'm a grandson, I'm a great grandson, I'm a great great grandson. I am, let's say, like I'm Spanish, I'm French, I'm Chinese, like or like, I'm Spanish, I'm Catholic, or like, oh, I'm Thai and I'm Buddhist, right? And I come from this long line of men, right? And it's my duty to keep these things up, right? And I like it's like how we see in how we're attracted to like Eastern stuff because there's a lot of that, finding your way in the well, not like discovering yourself, but like you find how you like where your place falls in the like the how does it like the chakra or whatever the fuck, but either way, like in Greek it's referred to about like finding your place in the cosmos, right? Of just like the grandiose, like I need to find out what my purpose is, right? And my purpose, I can figure out what that is through things like religion and family, right? But now people just do that by just go traveling to a place that like everyone else has already been to and just doing shit that is just like, you know, touristy things that are just, do you kind of see the point I'm trying to make?
I mean, I get the point of people not having like a true sense of personality or identity, so them discovering themselves as just doing touristy shit like that I get. But I don't feel like I feel like making up your own reason to celebrate holidays and coming together, and the whole point is to be communal and interact and find something to care about, is more important than caring about historical context of a holiday. It's nothing to do with like you being nihilistic and not, caring about anything in life. It's just the fact of like you can make up your own reason to celebrate. Who gives a shit about what the actual holiday is? That's my point.
But then, like, why would there even be a holiday there in the first place?
Because it's been passed down for generations before you and I had a say. I mean,
So,
I don't
like,
know. Who
wouldn't you
cares?
be interested to know why that's the case?
I enjoy history. I enjoy learning about things of our past. Like I think it's interesting. I don't think you should give a fuck and celebrate certain aspects, especially because you weren't there. So why are you celebrating? You know what I
Well,
mean? Who gives
yeah,
a fuck?
I can kind of see the case for the Thanksgiving thing, but it's like you should care about the true meaning of Christmas and Easter and all that stuff. Because that's actually a religious holiday, whereas, like, Thanksgiving is just like, that's just like some America. Well, actually, other countries are starting to celebrate it, which is kind of annoying.
Who cares? Let them celebrate it. Who gives a fuck?
No, but it's just like, can Americans like can American culture like stop just like poisoning the rest of the world? Like, please. Like, can other countries just be other countries?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in that respect, sure. But if they like it, they like it. Who cares?
Yeah, but I'm just like, why the fuck do they like it so? Like, It's
I don't know why do people like K-pop? Who fucking knows? They just like it. It's exotic. It's foreign.
I know, but it's so weird to think from like the other side. Like, it's like when you look. I always thought of like like people who read with like another script. Like when they see the Latin alphabet, they're like, looks so like mysterious and like
Yeah.
foreign and
Hell
exotic. I'm
yeah.
like, it's so like funny to think about.
I will say this, like, if there is something that is important to you and you're celebrating it for that reason, whether it's your own construct or if it has historical context, just fucking do it. Just do what you like, but don't like hold other people to that standard, I guess, because you're just fucking annoying. I feel the same amount of like annoyance for people that are like strictly about revisionist history and also people that are like strictly traditional. Like both of those people fucking annoy me because there's no like, just like with most people these days, there's no middle ground for anything. So I think they're both annoying. I think if people just shut the fuck up and just enjoy what they enjoy and let other people enjoy what they enjoy, we would not be as nihilistic as a society. We don't have to follow things strictly and we don't have to change everything strictly. So pick your battles, but don't be pretentious about it.
We kind of do need to follow things strictly.
What good has any of life ever offered, whether following it strictly or strictly rebelling against it? Has it saved any deaths? Has it saved any hardship? No. It'll happen regardless,
Yes.
one way or the other. There's been death and, despair, and you need that in life. You need the duality of pain and pleasure, right? But, like, my God, people are so pretentious about my way is right and things would be better if it was my way. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just getting tired.
But my way is not just my way. Like, could be my parents' way, like my friend's way, my country's way. Like, it's not just me. It's not just my way.
The point is everyone thinks that their way is right, I
And
guess.
like at the
So
end of the day, someone's right. Like, there's no like, well, there's like some people. Like, it's just like At the end of the day, like something is either right or wrong.
the people that are right are the ones that are successful and productive and don't feel the need to cause harm or fucking be destructive around them. So whatever they fucking believe, that's the right way, and that right way can come from many different angles, whether it comes from a religious standpoint or a scientific standpoint or a loose form or a strict form, whatever the fucking case. It's never one way or the highway. It's always like a bunch of different ways can be right if done correctly. You know what I mean? You just have to be well adjusted. Whoever you are, you can either not give a shit or give a shit. Find the center.
Like, if you don't give a shit, then your life is like kind of boring. In my
It just
opinion.
depends. They cannot give a shit about holidays, but give a shit about something really intensely. Like, it just depends on what it is. If you go through life not giving a shit about anything, or going through life giving a shit about everything, like, you're gonna be miserable. You have to, like I said, you got to pick your battles.
No, living your life giving a shit about something is like that's how you should live your life.
It just depends on what it is. Like that's literally what I just said. You either have to, like, if you don't give a shit too much, or if you give a shit too much, it's not good. You got to find the things you care about and the things that you don't need to care about, because not everything needs to be both.
Right, but like the things we should care about are things like family and like community structure and things like that, not like celebrity worship and all that nonsense.
Yeah, that's all fucking dumb. Celebrity worship. But I mean, again, you can still be communal and not care about the historical significance of your community or why you're being communal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like if you don't do that, then like what's the incentive to like keep any of like like why would you keep anything going at all?
Because you're
Like why
being
would
communal and it's a fun time and we need interaction and we need to come together and
but like
spend time.
why? Why is that though?
Because it feels good. And most people hate being with their fucking family. Like, they dread holidays, regardless if they care about the history behind it or not.
Yeah, well fuck those people. Those people are miserable. And
Right.
it's not like and it's their fucking fault.
What do you mean? I mean, we're human beings. We're going to place importance on important shit or dumb shit until we die. So it's like, I mean, you think, why is it going to keep going? Because we'll find something else to give it a meaning. and then we'll just keep doing that, and then maybe that meaning keeps changing every 100 years. Who knows? Like, the whole point is we do the same shit for different reasons. We're still going to come together and be with our people that we enjoy for the most part.
But like, still, like, why? Like, what is the incentive at all to keep anything going if nothing, like, if none of this matters?
Did you just like put a record player on and then like skip to like 10 seconds behind? Like, bro, I literally just said because we're gonna place any sort of meeting we want to on it. Like, if we want to be communal, and like it's like with anyone, like, why do people just barbecue for no reason together? It's not a holiday. They just do it every other weekend or whatever. It's just they're coming together and enjoying their company. They're not putting a specific meeting on it. It's just a get together.
Yeah, but I'm asking, like, why is that a good thing? I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but I'm
Because
saying,
like you
like,
said, it's community. It's putting like love to your friends and family. Like, it's
but why
sharing
is that
intimate
important?
moments. Because we
But why
need
is that
interaction
important?
with human beings. We need that
And why
interaction.
do we need that?
Because subconsciously it makes us feel good, you know? And then if
And
you're,
why do we need to feel good?
we don't have to feel good all the time. It's just so you don't fucking be miserable and be unproductive or kill yourself. We have to have some sort of good feelings and meaning in whatever the case may be. Because, I mean, do you want to walk
Right,
around
but
being
then when
unhappy all the time?
no,
Like
I
you just
don't.
said.
But I'm saying no, I don't. But like what I'm saying is that when people just come up with their own meanings, they just come up with bullshit and it never works. And anyone who does that is always like just depressed and they always have like mental illness.
I don't think the people that try to create meaning for things are depressed. I think the people that don't put meaning to anything or they don't care about anything are more depressed. I feel like the people that try to put like their own meaning on shit and it doesn't work, it's mainly because they just suck as people. Like, they're just not good at anything. So it doesn't matter if they care or not. They're just objectively not going to be good at things, and that's why they're unhappy. So there is that aspect too. It's not
That's
all
the
mental.
that that's the horseshoe theory of have you ever heard of that? Is the horseshoe
No,
theory of practical intelligence?
no, I've never heard that.
So, actually, I'll put a link to the video. It's from John Doyle, this YouTuber. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No, I haven't.
So he's pretty conservative, but that's regardless of the point. But he was explaining this concept. So you have three groups of people, right? You have you have intelligent people, non-intelligent, like low intelligence people, and then you have like average intelligence people, right? So the people in the high intelligence and lower intelligence meet and have more in common than the people who have average intelligence, which are in the middle, right? So it makes the shape of like a horseshoe, right?
I see.
So like the example he used actually is the he was like think of any like social issue. It was defund the police, and he was like he was like ask any you know ask like any like intelligent like high intelligent person like what do you think of defund the police, and they would think like that's ridiculous, like we need some sort of at least law and order in our society to like maintain it, or whatever. I don't even know if that's what he said, but something along those lines. And then it was and now what would the low intelligence person say, and he's like, well, who's gonna catch the bad guys? And then it was the average intelligence was like, crime is like a result of like socioeconomic factors, and we need
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
need social workers to come in and like de-escalate the situation. And he said both the high intelligence and low intelligence person would just look at that person and laugh at them.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
But like I said, it's just theory. I mean, it's a theory I happen to really agree with. But
well, I mean,
what is your thoughts on that?
I think it's generally true. I feel like if you have an average amount of intelligence, you kind of like understand a lot, but also don't understand a lot. So you know how to articulate and communicate, but all you're saying you might not actually truly know what you're saying. You know,
He
but
described that as it was like average intelligence people, they right, like they're smart enough to see that they're smarter than some people,
yeah,
right? But they are also smart enough to see that they're not as smart as um as other people, right? So they have to cope with the fact that they're mediocre by saying stuff that is just often like really wrong.
Yeah, and even if they truly believe it or not, it's like they believe the feeling of it, you know, like it feels right to them as opposed to like I feel like low IQ people, they just kind of they're more emotionally reactive to things, so it's like they will rely on that to guide them through life. So like they
Well, yeah,
may
because they
not,
have common sense, right? Because like because they have to survive off of that. Whereas
yeah,
like because they're not as materially well off as like these other people who are in the average intelligence, and that's like why like because like because they were because they go to college, so they think like, oh, I go to college, therefore I'm smart, right?
a
Or
lot of,
like
yeah, I knew a lot of people
I'm
like that. They weren't poor, like their families were upper middle class, I would say, or like lower
yeah,
rich end, but
that's
like they're really
exactly the
fucking
kind of
dumb.
yeah, like there's so many things, like I said, I think I've mentioned this on another episode where it just like that's just straight up like inaccurate, or that's just like straight up incorrect, or like you know it's like like a lot of things like those revisionist histories and stuff like that, or like things people say about like when it comes to like working out or something like that, or are there like other statistical things, I guess. um I was having a debate actually with one of my friends, and then it got into like certain arguments about race, and then he talked about how like he's like he said like, well, people who are poor and go to church, like if they get injured or something, or they need some serious medical attention, like the church doesn't pay for it. And I'm like, well, that point is wrong as well. But that was not what I was correcting, because I was saying, well, I did kind of correct that, and I was like, sorry, my thoughts aren't always articulated very well. I apologize, Jason.
Yeah, where are you on
But
the horseshoe, bro?
I don't know. That's regardless of the point. But he said like, well, those black people, they're all Catholic. And I was like, no, they're not. Like literally 5% of black Americans identify as Catholic. So like you can't just say, "Oh, well, those black," like that's kind of that has a very negative connotation, sir. Like well, cuz I was making the argument like, yeah, like they don't have like an organized program where it's like, yes, like it is our right to like pay for it's like no, like they do fundraisers for these things. Like
Yeah, I was about to say I always remember people doing fundraisers.
yeah, like if someone in the community, which I stress that point a lot, which is the importance of community, right? Because if you're involved in something like that, and then you get really injured or something, you have a serious problem, like people will do fundraisers and stuff like that. Like if you got those tight knit communities and everything, but if you're not part of that, then no one really will even give a shit.
Yeah, for real.
Like, and and I know it's sad, but it's like we like it brings me back to the other point I was making earlier, where it's just like this the shit that we think is important is really not, you know.
I mean, you have to have some like metric to measure it though. I feel like most people can, even if like they don't have the correct way of thinking, either morally or logically, and shit just
It's a
works
lot of
out for them,
people.
or they're yeah, like I feel like if they're not miserable, like who actually gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like if they have some stupid job that they go fucking work every day, like in some factory or something, so it's like they're contributing to society, putting money back into the economy, buying all the dumbass shit that they buy, but you would not listen to any point that they said, you don't have to interact with them. So like on their own, they're in their own little universe and they're fine, right? So it's like you have to find some way to measure it. And I don't think that chopping everything down to one ideological point and saying this is good or bad ever made sense to me. I feel like I've always seen conflicting things within people and within ideas. So you can look at somebody like, how the fuck are they functioning? They're doing everything wrong, but they're happy. They're not hurting other people, and they're just, in their own lane, right? So I don't know. I feel like it's just case by case, but Yeah, no, I hate people, and I feel like I know I come off this way most of the time, but in my real day to day life, I usually am productive, and I try to find the more positive things and try to find appreciation in the smaller aspects of life than just hating everything. But I feel like the way that life is set
You're
up
not a
now,
nihilist, yeah.
I'm not a nihilist, but I can recognize
Right.
like our
So that's great.
entire way that we live is pretty much bullshit, and
Yeah,
most things
that's
are
very
scams,
true.
right? So like you have
That's
to
very
you have to
true. Yeah.
navigate it. You have to navigate that in your head, but like to not let it jade you. To like find the things that are important. So if that's finding your own meaning for things, why not? Because then I'll go fucking insane if I didn't try to put my own twist on ideas or holidays or life in general. Like I don't like I hate the idea that we have to strictly follow everything, or not everything, just like certain aspects that don't actually have objective bearings on my life. Like people say, oh, this is really important, but objectively, it makes no difference to me if I do them or not. What makes a difference is how I perceive life and how I carry myself and what my actions do and what will set me up for success or failure. It's the results more than the words. You know what I mean? That's what means more.
Right. That is that's a good way to look at it. But I do think that the words influence the results.
They can, but the like problem is like you can twist words. Words have double meanings.
I
Like
know you.
there's
Yeah, no,
so many
that's also
fucking.
very true.
So like that's what I'm saying. It's not to really get so hung up on the words. Like put like if you like I'm trying to think of a phrase. Like it's a common phrase that most people can kind of get behind, but an example is of ways that you can twist it. Um, so like it's okay. Same example. Like you've heard the phrase like um, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, right?
That is kind of true.
Right. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? If you walk around being half empty and you're just like, oh, I don't think, and you just, are skeptical about every single aspect, but it kind of clouds your judgment, you're going to be susceptible to getting scammed because you're like, oh, I don't know about this. And then you won't trust anything or have any sort of experience to know what to trust and what not to trust. You have no reason. You just naturally feel that way. But on the other side of the token, I feel like that's a propaganda tool because you look at our political system. So it's like, if you don't support our two-party system, that's everything, right? And then
You're
you'll,
anti-democracy.
yeah,
Okay,
anti-democracy, whatever the fuck,
democracy.
right?
That is the
Yeah,
biggest example of a buzzword where it's just inherently good just because. Like,
yeah, and that's what
like
I'm saying. It's
when
like words don't give a
anytime you
fucking shit.
hear like with this whole like we need to go fight X country 50 billion miles from here because we need to protect our democracy. I'm like, shut the fuck up. This whole like whether it's like Afghanistan or Ukraine, like yeah, we need to just go over there and like sacrifice all these people's lives. It's like yeah, for democracy. It's like no.
Them boys need some
Like
freedom.
right, I'm like there's certain things that are worth fighting for, but democracy, especially in the way that they mean it, is just it's not worth it, bro. I am not fighting for that. Sorry.
Yeah, but again, like it's a concept you can get behind. Democratic, sounds nice. You like to think people would have a say in what
That's what
goes
I'm
on.
saying, yeah.
But that's my point. So it's like, who gives a fuck about words? It's just word salad. So it's like you can take ideas that sound nice in concept and then totally like twist it or misappropriate it, and that's obviously clear, right? That's a cliche. It's not really, lucrative to say that. But again, people put too much importance on the actual stuff themselves or the actual words themselves as opposed to making it beneficial to their life. I feel like the people that are really intelligent can take anything and twist it to their own way to create or to be successful.
That's being cunning. But
Right.
I think the flip side you're saying with all this is like there are phrases and words and whatnot that like genuinely are true, and it's so irrefutably true that like if you deny that, then you're just coping,
Like what?
right?
Like what's the
Um,
irrefutable statement that's true?
um, like it gets to a point in your life where like if you want to succeed, that is like like your life gets to a point where like you're either all in or you're all out. Like it gets to a point where like if you want to reach a certain point in your life, a goal, whatever it is, it's either I'm in or I'm out, because then you can't just be in this like maybe, because like that's not how shit gets done. When like that I would say, or like what's another example? If you change nothing, nothing changes, right? Um
But that's not true all of the time.
Like, wait, how? I'm not saying necessarily you're wrong, but like, how?
Because like it's very vague, right? So you can apply that. Yeah, if you don't make a proactive change, it also just depends on what you're talking about. Because sometimes if you don't change something, something can just objectively change without your influence. Like, because that's just how the universe works, right? There's things that happen without your control or not.
But
So
but
if you try to make like let's say smoking, right? If you just wake up one day and be like, I'm gonna quit smoking, and you just keep saying that for 10 years, yeah, if you don't change it, nothing's gonna fucking change. But you also can get hit by a car the next day, but you didn't really change anything. Life changed you, and then you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to smoke anymore. I was close to death. So sometimes it just depends on what it is. And
that's not, yeah, but that's not really what the statement's referring to. It's just referring to that like proactive thing, or the thing with like other things affecting your life. Like a lot of people go through life thinking that like, someone else or something else is just gonna do it for them, right? That's really what the statement is making.
well, that's my point. You can take that statement and run with it any directions. It just depends on how you feel about it. It says like if you think if you don't change anything, nothing will change. The people that rely on, I don't know, the government or the medical system or whatever to get them out of their problems, they're gonna look at that um, like I don't have to change because I'm fine. Like things will just change around me. But then the people that do take that with credit, like, oh, I have to change everything. You know what I mean? Like there's like it doesn't leave them with that, oh, I can just sit with this and not have to change something for things to change. Like it just depends on what you're doing.
Well, if you're happy where you are, stay there. That's fine. But a lot of people aren't, right?
Hold on, I'm not
Um,
articulating this correctly. My point is like why I don't like absolute statements is because like yeah, I mean I think it's a very common sentiment to get behind. If you don't make a proactive change to do something better, it's more difficult for that thing to not happen. Oh my god, dude, I'm all over the place. It's more difficult for that proactive change to never have a positive outcome on your life. But sometimes you just get lucky. So like what's to say like so let's say I like in the context of work so it's like if I don't proactively keep learning and enhancing my craft, I will not make more money. And I tell myself that blah 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 blah, and then I look at someone else that doesn't do any work and they got really lucky. Is that going to make me feel irritated? Like, do I have to believe something different now because like he didn't make a proactive change, but something positive happened? You know what I mean? Like I don't want to force myself to believe in absolute statements because I feel like things can randomly just happen without your input or not. So it's like I feel like yeah, I do try to make proactive changes, but I also know that I could give up tomorrow and something good could also happen, or I could just do nothing and something could change for the better. It just depends, is my point.
right, but I just feel like that statement's not really even referring to all that stuff.
It's vague. It can refer to anything. Like if you don't change, nothing will change. Technically, just in
But you know what it's talking.
I know what it's talking about. My point is that like you can twist it to say whatever you want and you can think about it different ways. My point is like it's not true all the time if you change nothing that nothing will change. Like that's not an absolute statement.
Like
Is my
if you
point.
change nothing, then like nothing will change. Like
But that's
for things that like can happen to you. Like things
how
that
can
act like if you were acting actively, then like if you change nothing, nothing would change.
but that doesn't
So I guess
necessarily mean like it'll have to be a positive change. So, like is that's what I'm saying, like is it a positive change? Because that's the connotation we all put to it. Every time you say to somebody, if you don't change your attitude or you don't change your mindset, you'll keep doing the same thing over and over again. What's that? The definition of insanity, blah blah blah. We all get it, right? But the point is like you can take that statement and you can try to keep changing and then maybe sometimes nothing will ever change. Like maybe your proactive changes do nothing. You know what I mean? Like there's that reality too. So like it's not an absolute statement, and that's why people get pissed off about like, oh, I subscribe to this belief. It's like, no, you're not supposed to take everything literally. You're just supposed to see what works.
in that sense, it's not an absolute statement because like it's not that
People treat it
statement that
like
I
an
made.
absolute statement. They're like unequivocally 100%. If you do not
I mean,
change, nothing will
pretty
change.
much, but like
No, I get. How am I trying? I get the
like
point. I'm saying the logic behind it, and I think the logic behind it is what people get stuck on, and it kind of
but
like hinders their
it's one of those
progress because they're
things.
stuck on the meaning of it as opposed to just doing the thing they're supposed to do. or not.
Right, but like the point I was making is that most people that try to refute that are just people that are coping.
I don't think you can refute it. I'm just saying like the mentality of taking statements like that and like running with it, like that's like people just say like, oh, that's what I believe. It's just like, why? Like what? Like I don't know. I feel like you have to question just everything you believe, and like because it won't, everything won't happen the same way twice sometimes. So it's like, are you supposed to give up all you believe if something different happens? Because that's how people lose their faith in things. Like they put too much credit and too much volition into statements like that. So when it doesn't happen or go the way that they plan, they automatically just give it up and then they just, regress. So like,
Well,
yeah, it's a good statement. It's
that
you can get
that
behind it.
comes from when people treat those things like religion, because like you can't treat things that aren't religion like a religion, right? I
I
mean,
guess that's yeah.
that's what ideology essentially is. It's just watered down religion,
Well, that's
summed
kind of
up
my
in like
point. Most people do treat it like
you know.
religion. They treat ideologies like that is their personality or their religion. Just talking from a logical standpoint. That's kind of my whole point. That's why I'm saying like you can't run with statements like that as absolutes because they'll treat it like religion. I guess that's a point that I agree with. Maybe it's a better way to explain
Well,
it.
so something like that would be something like I I don't really know if there's like a word. It's things that are like like where like the church would be like, "Yep, that's pretty true." It's one of those things like, well, because the truth obviously like transcends space, time, person, role, culture, ethnicity, like anything like that, right? So like if something stated by something is true, it's true like just because it's true, right? Um like something is not true just because the Catholic Church says it, right? I mean, obviously, I am of the belief, right, that the moral teachings of the magisterium are true, right? But it's not true just because the magisterium said that. It's just because that it's just what it's the truth, right? And we can go into the whole discussion of how I know that, but that's not the point I'm making. But then a lot of people, it's just yeah, like we said, like you just take something that's watered down, something that it's almost like there's a novel aspect to it, I guess. Like people who discover like this sort of influencer or like Andrew Tate or whatever. And a lot of people are just following like the Church of Andrew Tate.
I think they're very similar. They're words designed to emotionally manipulate people into thinking that their way of life will be helpful for them. And I think that's the thing
Right.
with religion,
But like
music, art. I think that's like with anything, and that's my point. I don't like believing things. I don't think we should follow things strictly or to any sort of certain extent that doesn't help you out in life because I feel like you can treat, like you said, treat anything like a religion, and then when it doesn't happen your way, then you just go 180 and then you just become more jaded. So it's like you have to treat everything with life with a certain sort of volatility. You can have to be the understanding like if I feel this way, it might not work out. I can't just subscribe to a specific belief and hang on to it for dear life.
well, right. But I think the same thing is like people they hold on to that for dear life because they've never actually tried it for themselves, I guess. and
Yeah, I mean,
they,
yeah,
and they right, exactly, and they just think that because it's like no, like it has to be, because
right,
this
but
person told
yeah.
me.
But that's
But
that's that's the same sentiment with anything though. Like any that's why I'm saying I don't like absolute statements and I don't like catchphrases. I don't like ideologies that revolve anywhere close to that because it gives people like really you're gonna form your life off of a sentence? Like no.
I mean, really though, I mean you could because it's like what
You
is the point of
could.
life?
You
Like
could do whatever you want if it works for you fine, but how feasible is it that most people will succeed that way? Probably not.
Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Now I would say some
Yeah,
other
I could
stupid
say that
things
before
though.
I shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Like it just depends.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like
Um,
it doesn't matter the statement, it matters what you do with it. And if you
I mean
can't
I
figure
could
out the
do
right
that
way to
before I was shooting the person who was gonna kill my wife.
then it wouldn't matter what you say because you're just doing it out of self-defense. You could say I love AIDS and then shoot him and then he's just confused before he dies. I don't know. like
Oh, I would say that before someone executed me for being Christian. Fuck yeah.
Point being, like it just doesn't matter, really. Like the words don't matter. It's what you do with them that matters. That should be more important. And that's a statement in itself. Like people like wouldn't agree with that statement I just said. Like that's a catchphrase. You know what I mean? That just the point is just do what fucking works for you.
Like people just aren't taught how to do that because of all of this find your own shit. Because most people are just really stupid. Not like the low intelligence uh horseshoe theory of practical intelligence. Those people are actually pretty smart, right? Because they have common sense. I'm talking about like the people in the average, like the whole defund the police shit. That's who I'm talking about. Like
Well, do you
most of
ever
those
wonder
people.
why, like how they get to that point where they feel so indoctrinated to say the same shit that everyone else says, or they have such an emotional reaction to things that they don't actually know the full story to? Like,
Well, I
do you
mean,
ever
there's
stop and think
very
about
good
why?
reasons why. I understand in a lot of these cases why. I mean, it's a mixture of like wanting to follow the norm, right? Picking the easy route, being materialistic.
It's all a belief. It's
Um,
like they think that their belief is the right way and that that's the most beneficial, not only to themselves but to society. It's just like we don't do things because we don't think that they're like who does something because they don't think it's the right way. You know what I mean? Like that's why
oh,
we're a
exactly, yeah, because
detriment
like
to ourselves
every
because we can't get over the fact that this might not be objectively the right way to handle something, and they'll keep doing it, whether that's
well,
addiction, whether that's doing the same thing
yeah.
over and failing and not learning. Like it's we don't do things because we think, I mean, unless you're a masochist, you're depressed, you hate yourself, and you're doing things purposely to cause pain because that's just what you know. That, not talking about those people. I'm just saying like the people that can never seem to figure out why their life doesn't go well, and they also just are very credulous, like meaning they don't fucking subscribe to anything but what they're told to.
Yeah, but like, do you agree with like the mixture I was saying of like why people would believe that? Well, it's really just also the result of like living in extreme comfort,
Yeah, I would agree with that more. It's just the fact that it's extreme comforts that people feel like they have to
right? Because there's
overcompensate.
no,
Or not
well, right,
overcompensate, but they feel like they have to add some sort of quote unquote danger into their life
well,
or
right, because it,
individuality.
well, because that's how you find meaning is finding like what is good and bad, right? That is like really how you find meaning and like what is the purpose, right? So when you live in the most comfortable society to ever exist in human history, right, and we're all mentally ill because of that, that's why people, you know, start believing shit that is just nonsense,
I
right?
don't
But
know. I
also,
think it's all by design. Like, the Rockefellers setting up our educational system to make fucking competent workers, all the bullshit they put into our food, all the stupid stuff that they make us watch, like all the medicines that they force
right?
us to take.
It
Like, it's
almost
all.
like you're just like, is it even real? Like
No, of course it's
seriously,
not real. It's all the fucking, like. I mean, you look at any ruling class society, like, what? Like, they don't want well-adjusted people or people with critical thinking. Like they want people to
yeah,
believe really insane shit on both sides. Like division
that
is awesome, fear is awesome. Like you like if
yeah
you don't
that
have people passionate about things, you don't have a fear-mongering society. You have no control. Because why would you like how could you control a society that doesn't really give a shit about what you have to
well,
say?
no, if you have people that are passionate, then like you're gonna have like people who go into the streets and protest and burn all of these things like they're fueled by their passions because people like are that's how like people think, and this is a criticism actually that John Doyle has of conservatives, which I actually happen to agree with, where he's like you can't just keep on this whole like the way he described it, this whole like facts and logic. It's like, does that matter? Yes. And like being factually and logically correct does matter, right? But it's like no one really cares because it's like people aren't motivated by facts and logic,
Yeah.
right? Like people are motivated by their passions and their emotions and their lived experiences, right?
Yeah. Unless they're
So like
researching a topic, yeah.
right. So that's why like saying like like just being like haha like make fun of these liberals. It's like no, these people want to kill you. So like why are you just sitting there and just being like ha ha ha? Like, it's like no, it's not funny.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
Well,
Fuck
it
it.
is, but it's like you can't just rely on that and be like, oh, we're the cool, because like people don't care.
Dude, they can all fucking kill each other. I hope we just have a civil war and all those people just fucking kill each other and get it over with so we can progress as a society. Or we just
It's,
kill the fucking government. I don't care. Whoever
well,
doesn't
right,
have
but
drones. We'll kill the people that don't have drones.
what I was just about to say was like the whole like, is it even real? Like the point I was making is just like this is not like this. All these problems are like not caused by people. They're really just caused by like demonic evil forces, right? And like they use those like they act through those people, right? Because that's like the big characteristic of demons, right? And the devil is like they can't actually, you know, make us do anything, right? Whereas God can't do that. He can just, like he can snap his fingers and like anything happens, right? Okay, I don't really know how often that really happens, but he does. That's what he can do, right? But the devil has no create because God has creative ability, right? He created the universe and everything like that. But the devil is the opposite of that. He has no creative ability, so all he does is just perverts, right? So he acts through people, right? Because like that's how you get the temptation. That's the whole thing with the serpent, right? And then because it's like he never actually like used like telepathy in his snake brain to make Eve eat from the apple. He just like he just told her, because that's all he can really do, right? Um, so that's really what's going on in our government and all. Pretty much anything you can attribute to like something that was bad, that's really what it was. Because like and it's either that or selfishness, which is the same thing because the biggest trick the devil pulls is to tell you that he doesn't exist, right? Because once that is taken care of, then he can just do anything. Because he doesn't care if you worship him or not. With the whole like, like well, it's like Satanists like whether and we don't necessarily need to keep because we already talked about this point on another podcast, but I was saying like how this is related to like the whole like well, like most Satanists don't actually like believe in Satan. Well, it's like that doesn't matter because Satan doesn't care. Because in the end of the day, like all he wants is your soul, right? He doesn't want your adoration, you know.
I think with them, it's just more of the ideology of it. It's honestly more of a like a fight against organized religion. Like I don't think it's not even a matter of like not believing in them. It's just like the idea of that kind of shit is just as a counter, a counter reaction to Christianity as as an idea and as an organized human structure. But again, I don't really like. I think like both like to me like those people are fucking cringy. Like I don't I don't I think if you're so passionate about dumb shit like that, I feel like your life is just miserable. Like I feel like
Yeah.
like it's like passion is just an emotional reaction if you really think about it. Like you can't really put a finger on it why you're passionate about things. Sometimes you just innately
Yeah.
feel that way, right? So like it's a chemical reaction in your
Just
fucking
kind of
brain.
comes there, yeah. Kind of
Exactly. So it's
comes.
like I think passion is great, but it's also very easily manipulated into something awful. Because like
Right. So
you
that's
think
why
I think
most people are right. Yeah,
Hitler was really
Hitler.
passionate. Stalin
Yeah,
was really passionate. I think
they
Pol
thought they
Pot's
were
probably
doing
the most
favors too.
passionate. Yeah, so it's like passion
They
is very misconstrued.
right, and that's the problem because it's like just like you said, the whole like my way is the way. Well, it's like well, why like with those situations, it's clear like that didn't work out.
And that's why I think apathy for a certain amount of things is great because like if you really don't need to care about something and be passionate about a topic, it's like if you are forced to care about something that doesn't actually help you or apply to you, all that does is damage. Like it makes it probably takes years off your life. It makes you worry about things that you don't need to worry about. People always tell you what's important, but you don't actually know if they're important or not. So why go through the trouble? Like care what you need to care about that actually, is beneficial. And whether that's community coming together, interaction, art, music, whatever. I don't want to say politics because I don't think it's beneficial to be passionate about politics. I think that's just detrimental to everyone involved throughout the entire millennium of history. It's never been good. There's never been a true power balance. The scale is never tipped equal. Like anybody that's passionate about politics, at the very least, is just really fucking annoying. At the most, is genocidal. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that any of this is good. That's why I want something different. I'm tired of hearing the same shit over and over again from both sides of people. I want something new. That's
Do
right.
you want?
Well, I mean, if you're talking like to me personally, like I don't feel like I'm like unhappy in life. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm not overworked. I don't know. For the most part, I feel like I'm neutral. I'm just kind of coasting. So I don't really. I have like ambitions and passions for the future and where I see myself in the next 5 years, and setting myself up to be secure, stuff like that. I enjoy all the music stuff. I enjoy doing this with you. I enjoy my job. I enjoy my
Right.
girlfriend. So there's a lot of things I enjoy, and that's what I was saying earlier. I choose the things that are important to me, and I appreciate all the things in life that I haven't prior, and I think that's the way to go. And if I revert back to old vices or making mistakes, it's thinking about the things that are really important to me over the mistakes and vices that I will continue to make throughout my life. So like my mistakes won't be super detrimental to me. You know what I mean? It's not about being perfect. It's just about caring about more important things so your mistakes don't fucking, put you in jail or get killed or, whatever else. Homeless.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's always what people misconstrue, is that like you have to be like, it's like with relapsing. And I don't know, like I have a lot of people that I'm like just randomly, I don't know how I'm fucking friends with these people on Facebook, but they're always like, I harp on the addiction a lot because I feel like the mindset of addiction and how we think about it is part of the reason why most people never get better. And obviously, if it's a genetic thing or if it's a legitimate disease, all well and good. But on top of that, it's really if that is really that bad, then man, the way that we're taught to think about it is making it even worse. Like no wonder it's a fucking industry. That's why it's never gonna get better, because now it's an industry. But like I see the same sentiment of people that always celebrate their sobriety, and I guess that's a really controversial like subject, right? Because like that's like the whole point is you're supposed to celebrate more positive things than whatever you're addicted to. So like the people that celebrate their sobriety, I feel like they're being disingenuous to themselves because celebrating 2 weeks sober or celebrating 2 years sober, whatever the case may be, and then they relapse again, and then they go through that process over and over again. So it's like I'm trying to phrase it. It's not coming out right. I feel like the act of celebrating, because like to me, like you could go back on what I said earlier, like putting your own meanings to celebrate things. That I think is an example for you of how it's not good to do that in that context, because you're not picking something that's objectively good to celebrate. You're just picking, oh, I haven't made this mistake in a certain amount of time. I don't think that's a thing to celebrate. I think you need
Yeah,
to find
that you're
actual
just
things to celebrate.
Yeah, because with that you're just self-congratulating yourself. A
Exactly.
much
Yes. Yeah.
a much better thing would be like, like you quit alcohol and then like I accept Jesus Christ. So it's like 2 years since I accepted Jesus Christ, or like since I started reading the Quran, or something like, you see, like that makes a lot more sense. I can understand why someone would be happy about that, right?
I
You know,
think. I'm kind of
do
conflicted
you
about that
agree,
because
or I mean, I know it's not always genuine, but
yeah, and that's my problem. I do and I don't agree. So like obviously like
I
people
see.
that are addicted or the people that are in prison, I think can genuinely turn their life around if they go to whatever religion speaks to them. Because like I've known people that are like that. They're like born again, right? A lot of people that I've talked to are born again, and like they're really fucking annoying about how they're very preachy when they're like that. But I mean, if they're objectively a better person because of it, I think it's a net positive. So that's why I'm kind of conflicted about it, because I think it's very predatory, and also is kind of giving them. I don't feel like religion is the one. I feel like they shouldn't do it first. I feel like they should find something that's also meaningful to them that doesn't make them relapse, and then if they want to find some religion or some higher power to concede to, and that makes them feel better and not want to like use again, then sure. If it's positive, it's positive. And, I can't like tell somebody it's not a good thing if it actually helps them. But I feel like the people, and this is also like a generalization. It's not like there's people that have that mindset and like they've been sober for over 15 years or whatever the case may be, right? But I feel like the people that already have the mindset that they need to congratulate their ego, they're always never gonna get better. Like it's like you know what I'm talking about. Those people that like you're just like, oh, it's so simple. Why are you fucking your life up this way? It's so easy. What you need to do, and they just don't get it, and they'll just continue to fail time and time again. They just can't get out of their own way. It's like that.
Yeah, I mean, I am very unapologetically like unsympathetic to people who like don't know how to like people who don't know how money works, right? And or like people who just don't know how to spend it, people, anything like that. Like I don't tolerate any of that.
I think unsympathetic is the wrong word. I think like
No, but
I don't know.
I have little sympathies for people who like don't understand how to like get their life together.
I feel I agree if they
Oh,
have
okay,
no reason
that
to be that
sorry,
way,
sorry.
then yeah.
Right, that and it's like I have no sympathies for people who don't know how to like who don't know how to fix their life, but like that they're like just bitter and resentful. Right? It's not like there's some people, where it's just like some like traumatic thing happened to them, right? And you do have to kind of be sympathetic, you know? Or like some people, have like a medical or mental, illness, like they're disabled or something like that. But I mean like able-bodied people that are just bitter and resentful and are just addicted to vice and are just jealous of things that other people have. I have little sympathies for you.
I think like sympathy is the wrong word because like I don't feel lack of sympathy. I feel like
Respect, I guess, would that be a better word?
yeah, I feel like respect is a better word because like
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like seeing like I know it sounds I'm not the best representation of articulating these ideas because it sounds harsh. Like I don't like seeing people
I
struggle.
thought
I don't
no, no, no. I thought you were gonna say I'm not the best, you know, person at sympathy. I thought that's what you were gonna say. I was like,
no no no.
you honestly do kind of at sometimes. I mean, you kind of you're balanced. Like I know there's some things where you're like, like punk culture, like yep, no sympathies. But then
Well,
it's
no,
like,
sympathy is the wrong word. I just fucking hate those people. But again, like I don't like. I'll hate them, but like if they need help, I'll help. Like it depends. I'm not giving them fucking money, but like if they're like in a stuck situation, like I'll help them, or like if they're getting
oh
attacked, I'll help
yeah,
them. Stuff like that.
well,
Like
no, I'm not doing that. Like there's nothing. Right, like there's nothing about being like traditional like I am that has nothing to do with not helping anybody and like, nah, dude, you gotta do it for yourself, ain't nobody gonna save you. It's like no, but it's like you still need to help out your brothers, right?
well, that's why I think
But
like unsympathetic is the wrong word. Because like I say, I don't like seeing people struggle.
right, but
I
the
like
but
seeing
the
people
not giving
succeed. I
money.
like talking to people that succeed. Like I don't like all this negativity and all this bullshit around me. So it's like that's why I choose not to care about it and just be like avoid those people. But again, like I'm not unsympathetic to them. It's just it it's sad. I don't like it.
Yeah,
It
but it's
affects me.
like what
It
what makes
affects
it
me.
what makes it not sad for me is just because a lot of all these people are just bitter, angry, and resentful, right? Because it's one thing if you're living a certain lifestyle and you're happy, right? Like I can't change that. There's nothing I can do to change that, right? But then you also need to understand that if you're not happy, right? There is also nothing I can do to change that. It is not my fault. It is not your fault. It's not anyone's fault but you. I know there's situations where you get into a car accident, well, that could have been your fault too, but or like you get cancer, like right, like that's obviously a whole different story. But when I say this, like I said, like I'm just talking about like able-bodied people who have every chance to just make better decisions and they just don't do it.
I think the biggest realization that I'm starting to have, I feel like when you turn 25, you just start having a quarter life crisis, and you like, I mean, that's when your brain's fully developed. So
Did
like
you
you
have
have,
the quarter life crisis?
oh, I'm going through it right now. But
Woo,
how
man.
I'm, dude, after 21, it just keeps going. But
Dude, I don't want to get to that 25 already married. Dude, I don't want to be and go through the crisis in the first years of marriage, man.
well, what I'm gonna tell you might have some consolation because what I'm starting to realize is that like I'm like even if things aren't outside of my control and like it's not my fault and like I'm stuck in them, you know what I mean? Like it's just like I don't like blaming other people and blaming other outside things is not beneficial Because like I do it all the time. I do it in my real life. I do it in arguments with people, with my girlfriend, parents. I do it on the podcast. Like it's always like, oh, this is bullshit for this and this reason. But like at the end of the day, if that's just how you think about well, not everything. If that's like the end result of what you think and you don't expand on it further, like it doesn't matter if it's your fault or not. You're still stuck in the situation and you still have to fix it, right? So it's like I always like get mad at my reaction things. Like if somebody does something to me and like I react to it, I'll think later like why did I react that way? Like it's not helpful. You know what I mean? Like I'm more like I'm critical of myself and how I say things in response to the bullshit that happens to me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's a better way to look at life.
Yeah.
Because like I just look at everything as low hanging fruit. So it's like I can expect certain things from certain people, and so I can't really get mad when like it happens to me. You know what I mean? That's why I try to stay
Right.
away from it for the most part. But I don't know. Like I don't want to go through life just like being cynical and being just negative because it just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's actually part of the reason why I didn't really like George Carlin anymore. It's just because I think that all of his stuff is just so cynical. I mean, some of it is genuinely funny.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I mean, he was highly cynical, but like he had an actual point. Like I feel like he actually like his social commentary. I mean, I felt like in his older years, his older stuff felt a little bit. I feel like when he was younger, he had more of like a. He was sharing his insight of what something would be good, as opposed to just shitting on whatever the thing is. Um,
oh, okay.
but he had like
I
I
might need
think
to
like
watch that.
some of his cynicism did have like actual good points. It wasn't just like bitching about whatever society. So I feel like if you can actually twist it to a message, it's more tolerable. So like he's talking about, he's like everyone complains about politicians, but like where do you think they come from? They didn't just follow the sky. They come from American schools, American churches, American institutions. It's like maybe it isn't the politicians who suck. It's the public who sucks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's like people
But
always complain about politicians, but they're just people like us and like they're your neighbors. They're like, if you give your neighbor that same power, he probably would act the same way. So it's like they're not just like a different species. It's just because of the shitty things that we believe. And then you give that person power, like, no shit, it's going to suck.
also the system we have, it just allows the worst people to get in those positions.
Yeah, that whole I hate that venture capitalist mentality. Like it's just like you have to take as much advantage in the shortest amount of time as possible, and it doesn't matter what effect it has on everyone else around you. Like I hate that mindset. I hate the grind mindset. I hate the material because like that's also part of my quarter life crisis. Like in one part of my head is just like I need to have more success than I do now. I need to be able to afford nicer things. Why don't I have a house? Why don't I have a nicer car? Blah 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 blah. And then I level myself by saying that's not really important because I feel like I'd feel the same way having all those material things if I don't change my attitude. You know what I mean? Like it's stupid the way that we're taught to live here.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I would like to get all those things. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be like a nice version of that. I mean, hopefully so. But
It never stops is my point. So it's like I'm not struggling to live. So it's
I
like
mean,
material success is not going to get me out of a bad situation because I'm fine right now. Like so, like I feel like if you're like struggling to live, like material success is going to change your life drastically. You know what I mean? Like that, there's no question about it. But like if you're
it
kind of
does,
fine,
but
it's never going to stop. Like I'll get the nice thing and not care about it and then be still miserable. You know what I mean? Like it just you have to appreciate things for what they are
um
and not keep wanting more.
this is probably gonna I'm gonna probably get a lot of shit for this.
Oh no,
Um
I'm ready.
a lot of it really is genetic, and like you can see like you really are essentially like the same man as your father is. It's really kind of weird to think about. But like um when you look at like populations and everything and lineages and like who succeeds and who doesn't, right? Like they're always like like they're always found like in certain groups or others, right? Because that's just how groups behave differently, right? Um, so right, like someone who like becomes very materially successful, right? If they do come from a long line of, Jewish people, right? Like they just kind of
I was
know
waiting for
how,
it. I was waiting for the controversial part.
well, that's part of it, but also in general, like people don't want to hear that,
No, yeah.
because they just think everyone's equal, which isn't true. But like when you are, well, I'm not genetically, well, no, fuck, no, I am genetically Jewish. Sorry, I'm not religiously Jewish, but I have inherited a lot of those traits where I have that kind of closed off sort of lifestyle, but not
Oh, trust me,
entirely,
I know. I know
right?
which traits you've inherited.
Right. But it's like not everyone necessarily knows that is listening, if you're listening at this point.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
trust me.
inherited
Will's
that,
inherited those genes.
right. So like someone like me would kind of just generally know how to manage all of this material, like all these material gains I would get, right? Because I would know how to be like, I would be smart with it, like, where do I put it? What do I, like, like, how do I invest it? Where, like, all of those kind of things, all those little fancy things here and there, right? But then someone who doesn't really come from a long line of that probably will just waste it all away, whether they know it or not, you know? Because that's just kind of how things work out in life. I mean, I'm not saying
And
you can't, like, you can't turn the tables and start a new kind of, like this whole well, like it's like the how like a drug addict will probably give birth to another drug addict and the cycle just continues, right? But that doesn't mean, like, I'm sure there are stories, I don't have any on hand, like, I can think of right now, but I'm sure there's got to be stories of people that, like, they came from a long line of drug addicts, but then they were like, no, I'm going to be the one who changes it once and for all. And then I'm sure that that's is what happened. I'm sure that also doesn't happen a lot, but
yeah, I
that's
mean that
just
happens all the time. Breaking the
that.
cycle, being the first ones to go to college, blah 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 blah. Like yeah, I mean I don't think it's controversial to say like the what you're raised around genetically. It's like when people get like, oh, I'm sounding like my dad or I'm sounding like my mom. Like I think that's just how we're programmed, as
No, but
humans.
it's like people would have like a problem with the statement I make about like the certain groups behaving differently, right? And
Like
how,
Jewish specifically.
right, and like the success of Jewish people largely comes from good things rather than bad things. Um,
I think like because like I don't know too many Jewish people. Like the reason why people think it's controversial because like it is an anti-Semitic stereotype, and that's what they used back in the day as a justification. But I also don't think that it has a basis in falsehood. Like I, because like it's the same thing. It's like not every Jewish person is successful, but you look at like a lot of Jewish people in our media and in our government and in a lot of industries like finance. Like there's a lot of Jewish people that are very successful. So like I don't think it's a anti-Semitic statement to say that a lot of Jewish people do well and are in
but
charge of a lot of important things.
those people are not like Jewish in any meaningful religious sense.
Well, I don't know. I just
But like,
they're
because
and
when
culturally Jewish. I guess I don't fucking know if whether they're actually practicing or not. Like they are Jewish culturally.
well, because I would say like most people don't really have a problem with them. Most people have a problem with like the Hasids and all those people
Why would they have a problem with Hasidic Jews?
because same reason people would have a problem with Catholics and anything like that. Like they're generally politically conservative. They have those traditional like man woman things, all those
Oh,
kind of
I see.
things. Like they
I
they
thought you
they
meant
got
like in terms of like the stereotype. But yeah, I mean, I don't really hear
well,
anything negative about like besides like all the conservative viewpoints. Sure, but like besides that, like you don't hear too many like traditional Jews like causing problems like all the ones in Hollywood and the banks and government.
no, but like you hear a lot of problems being caused against them, like in New York, like literally half of the
Yeah.
crimes are committed against Jewish people.
Yeah, and yeah, and that's
Like
why people are
literally,
like,
it's
oh,
like
these ideologies are dangerous because it raises violence against your insert group of people. It's like, yeah, because people are retarded and they don't fucking know how to control their emotions. They just think taking it out on some random civilian that has nothing to do with anything is a justification for some
right.
shitty ideologies. So it's like, but again, like it is true. Like, and I was reading an article, so it's like like it was written by a Jewish person, and they were like, yeah, I mean, like they're talking about Hollywood specifically, so it's like, why are there a lot of elite people that are culturally Jewish that have these sort of problems? And it's just like, well, it's like with anything with power, so it's like it's not the fact that they're Jewish in power, it's the fact that like they're just in power, but there's a lot of them that happen to be Jewish.
Well, But
whether
people
that's like
just
communal or not, or genetic.
right, I don't really know how that works. But like the whole power thing or whatever. But people really just have a problem with the money, right? And they don't like how Jews have so much money. And it's like I'm gonna share a secret with you guys. I've mentioned this in another podcast, but I didn't really elaborate on it. I just mentioned like they're just good with money. Well, it's like, well, what does that mean? How are they good with money? It's because they like Jews buy stuff that is valuable to people, right? And then they just sell it. So they buy things like property, businesses, you name it, because that's what people buy. Right? Like they just buy it, they make the investment with that, and then like they just buy like property so that they can just get rent because they know that that's how you get money. Well, then again, I know you'll say, like, oh well, the fact that they just know how to, they just have the money signs in their eyes. It's like really like there's no other ethnic group that has that. Like really.
I don't think it's the problem of being like teaching financial literacy and like obviously like if you have a group of people that value certain things, it just snowballs and that just becomes part of the statistic. But I think the problem is just solely with the fact of controlling shit. Like how organized do you think it is that like Jewish people conglomerate clandestine meetings to fucking screw over the whole world, right? But
No,
I don't know.
I don't believe that at all. Because like the Jews,
Right.
they hate each other so much from within the different groups of Jewish people. Like, how could they ever like this is why I don't believe in any of these like secret organizations except the U.S. government. even that, even then, I don't really know who's in on what or anything. I really don't know. All I know is that Donald Trump isn't in on whatever they have. Um, That's
I
not
know. I
necessarily.
just
You can literally see the picture of like the commemoration of 9/11. Like he's the only president who's not there. Literally, like every single other president, I'm like, I wonder why they're in the club, but then he's not. That's kind of interesting. But, um, like I don't believe that there's any sort of like secret Jewish organization because like human beings are so bad at keeping secrets.
yeah, for the most
There's
part.
like just right, and it's like but then it's like you go to the thing of the U.S. government, like how is that different? I guess like, I mean, like they know they're lying, and when we also know that they're lying, so
They're
it's like
pretty obvious about it. It's just like no
right.
one
It's
can
not
do anything
even.
about it. It's not like
It's
they're
not
good
a
at getting
right.
away with it. It's just no one can do anything about it.
Right. It's
What are we
not a
supposed to
secret.
do
Yeah. It's
besides
not.
kill them? And we can't do that.
I mean, dude, if we brought up like a significant, amount of the population, of course we could do it. It's like
Yeah,
some
but I
point, it's
mean,
like those people on
you have
January
to morally
6th like
justify
almost
that
did
though.
do
Like
it.
you really gotta like question yourself. So it's like you look at every revolution, most of it's cause death, right? But like you look at the end result, like it's never changed. So it's like it'll just be another dude to step in. So it's like we're just gonna keep killing people throughout the end of time. It's like I don't know.
Well, I
Is there
think
gonna be a better way?
the George Washington example is good because his whole goal was like, no, I'm ending all this bullshit with kings, like, because even like after they won, like he wanted to be like people wanted him to be the king. He's like, no, I'm not the king. I'm gonna give it to somebody else because this is like the well rather I'm just probably talking about like how he probably thought about it. He's like, no, this I died for like these ideas of freedom and everything. So if I become king, then we don't have that, right? So I fought all of this for nothing, right? And he commanded like the entire Continental Army against the British. Like he's awesome. He's one of the most exceptional men in history when you really think about it. Um, so then
Yeah, I
like
think he had the right idea, but like you can't. There's just too
well
many people. You
later
can't control those variables. You know.
well right, but like if in that situation and like the ideas that he created were ultimately beneficial. Like that revolution was worth fighting.
I think if you look at it in the terms of like on the overall history of this planet, like there's probably 1,000 people that had very similar ideas to George Washington. The point is that they never stick. Why
I
do they
wonder why.
never stick?
I wonder
Right?
why it worked for George Washington.
Well, there's a lot of reasons for people to fight. Like I don't think everybody was on that same page. I can think of multitudes of reasons. It's the same thing for the Civil War. obviously the biggest one was slavery, but there's also a million other reasons why people are fighting for whatever. Or some people just fought and they don't know why. That's just what was accepted and that's what they had to do.
Some people
So
just yeah. Well, there's also people that just want to fight because they just
yeah,
like that's just how
they
they
like
are.
it.
Like they're just
Yeah,
warriors, you know. I
they're
mean,
just fucking adrenaline junkies or they're psychotic. But point being, like, you can look at every great revolution in history. It never lasts that long. There's always going to be someone to fucking work their way in and sneak the coils. But the Jewish thing is weird because, like, there's a big, I don't know, like, I don't know how conglomerative it is. Like you said, nobody's good at keeping secrets, and eventually, like, people played up. But like the Epstein thing, the fucking Weinstein thing, like,
but that's not
it's
Jewish
just
though. That's just
it's not a Jewish thing, but
that's
they
just
are
an elite.
Jewish.
But that's just an elite thing. But also, they were connected to so many people that weren't even Jewish anyways. So it's like, you know,
Right.
that's how I see it. Like, it's not. It's just an elite thing to me. I don't even think of those people as Jewish.
Yeah, if you were to ask me like how many people are elite that do that shit are Jewish or not, it might be an even mixture. But they're the ones that take the most fall for it. So whether that's intentional or not, who knows? But I mean, the point being, like, it's just like there's a difference between like Jewish people, like I said, communally, like a lot of the time, like they're lawyers or they're hedge fund managers or whatever the fuck, right? They don't really do anything. They're just, financial literacy. They're there to be frugal or whatever the fuck, right? Like, they're fine. There's a difference between like I feel like it's like that's like what to strive for. So it's like, you should listen to those Jews and see like like how did you get the success and what hard work did you put in or what did you invest in? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Financial advisors, lawyers. So
I'm gonna be one of those Jews. Like that's gonna be my new show. I'm gonna start. It's gonna be like Jewish success story, and I'm gonna just go around and like interview successful Jewish people. Like, how did you get your success? You know.
yeah.
Um.
So I feel like those are the ones to listen to. I don't think they should even be part of the stereotype because like now it's just snowballed to the point where it's like, yeah, there's a community of people that are religious or culturally Jewish that believe certain things about money and that's how they're successful. That's all fine. I don't know. I feel like there's like just organizations of people that come together and just fuck shit up, whether that's clandestine or not, or whether it's so organized. Like how organized is it? We'll probably never know because that shit always gets covered up. So like who knows? It might be or it might not be. But I don't know. The fact that
see.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, I don't know whether he's gonna do it or not. That's where I know Donald Trump said if he becomes president, he's gonna release the JFK files.
Oh, whatever. It was a
No,
he's
but I want him to
Weinstein.
also release the Epstein stuff. That would break the internet.
He's not gonna do it. There's no way.
No, but
That shit's way too ingrained.
but like it would be so cool if he fucking did though. Or if somebody. The point I'm making is just that would be just so cool if we saw that.
Yeah.
But
To
also
me,
it
the
wouldn't be
biggest
cool
yeah.
because then we would see so many people where it's like with them, but then it's like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
what were we expecting?
Yeah,
Well,
and
like,
let me read. Let me. I want to. Sorry, go
Sorry.
ahead.
Is there anyone who like we're pretty sure was on there?
Uh, what? Just like his black book of clients that he would
Right. Didn't
solicit
like he
girls
just
to. Prince
didn't he
Andrew
just
is definitely fucking one of them.
well yeah, him and didn't he just say Bill Gates was on it?
I don't know. Maybe I think Gilbait, Master
Gil
Gilbates.
Bates. Mass.
Bill, no,
Hey.
Gil. I keep saying Gil Bates. Fuck, Bill Gates. I
Gil
think he
Bates,
just like.
dude.
I mean, he knew him, and like I guess he was on his plane. I don't know. I mean, that shit's hard to prove, right? So it's like I mean, they knew each other, obviously, and I think he flew on his plane, but did he fly on his plane and go fuck little boys and girls? Who knows? But
I
like,
guess
I just
not
want to.
necessarily everyone did. But
I
like,
want to clear up my point from earlier. So it's like I feel like if there was a big conglomeration of Jews conspiring to run the shit, I feel like there would be more Jewish presidents. I feel like the majority of our presidents are what, Catholic, at least.
no, are you kidding me? There's been 2 Catholic presidents in the entire
Like
history
mainly
of presidents.
Protestant or whatever. Like
Which
they're
is
mainly
Christians,
Christian.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought. Was it JFK and I know Biden, I guess, well, I mean, you probably wouldn't consider him Catholic, but he considers himself Catholic.
Just on paper, yeah. They're
Yeah,
the
it's
only
like him, JFK, and
No,
I don't know.
I wouldn't even really consider JFK Catholic, but that's another story. um
Well,
But no,
But
because
that's my point. So it's like I just think that there has to be like the fact that there are a lot of Jewish people that are elite and like do that kind of shit. There has to be something there to it. But I don't think it's this massive conspiracy for them to just fuck shit up across the entire world.
like yeah, across the entire world is really the thing.
That's ridiculous.
Um,
I mean, obviously, like they're elite, so like anybody that's elite is just going to do that innately, Jewish or not. But the fact that there are a lot of Jewish people on that elite level that do that shit, I mean, it's a little concerning. It's not. It's a pattern. Like you can't say it's not a pattern.
yeah, but like you can see that in like any other like ethnic group when it comes to like elitism and all
Like
that
what?
stuff.
Like what other ethnic group?
Like just like English Americans, like, but that's just because I mean, also that is because like most white Americans are just well, they're the majority of the country anyways. But most of them are just of English ancestry. Um, like I mean, like English people are just better at making institutions than other people. Um,
Well, there's some more indoctrination.
well, that's true.
I mean, you look at every massive fucking like Rockefeller. Who else? Was he? I think he was Jewish, wasn't he?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. But
Obviously,
I
everyone
know.
always blames
Oh,
the Rothschilds, but I don't know
Rothschilds was
conclusive.
Jewish, yeah. But
Yeah,
oh,
but
another.
there's a lot of
Sorry,
conspiracy theories around them, so I don't know how much of that shit's true.
I forgot to mention another big reason why Jewish people are so successful is because people don't realize that um their expenses are very low, right? Because they don't buy a bunch of like nonsense you don't need because their lives are pretty simple, right?
Yeah,
And it's just like it's like economics 101, how to run a business, and it's like how to increase revenue, right? So it's like you make money when the revenue exceeds the cost, right? So it's
yeah,
like they like the in economics 101 and business 101, the biggest way they tell you to like increase revenue is to cut costs, not to just you know exactly like
yeah. Budgeting is just what you can afford and what you need and don't need.
right.
Honestly,
And
I think
Jews are
there's a
just
difference between like I feel like the people that are actually like Jewish religious probably don't do as much bullshit as the people that are just culturally Jewish but not actually practicing. I feel like you think Weinstein was a really practicing Jew? You think he
well,
really
that's
gave a
what I'm
fuck?
saying. Like no, that's
Yeah,
why I don't even really I don't believe in this like Jewish conspiracy just because those people
yeah.
aren't really Jewish in any meaningful sense.
Yes, I don't know. It's just the
I mean,
fact that a lot of them
like
are
what
culturally Jewish is
their
weird.
last name, like really, like they're really not though. Most of them are just like they're really no different than like any other like American elites. The only people that are like culturally Jewish are the really religious ones. Like most other people that aren't culturally Jewish, or sorry, the only like people who aren't really religiously Jewish, I wouldn't fucking be able to tell that they're Jewish, except if I saw maybe how they look or what their last name is.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to look Jewish to be practicing. I'm gonna say if you wear like all the the traditional garb and shit, yeah. But like, I mean, look at Weinstein, right?
No, I
So it's
mean like
like,
just your physiognomy, and you can tell with like someone's ethnicity and stuff like that.
oh
Like
yeah,
there's
no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying like the fact that like their ends, like they're culturally Jewish, their last name is Jew. Like, I'm not saying what they
like
look
what does
like.
that like mean though? Like they're culturally Jewish. Like what
Like, like
exactly?
like they're not practicing. Like they don't like the people that are just like Jewish, but like they don't actually
Right.
subscribe to Judaism. Like, you know what I mean? Like those kind of people.
But what characterizes that?
What do you mean? What characterizes it?
Like what would be traits of someone who is culturally Jewish but not religiously Jewish?
Like they're an atheist or agnostic. Like they're not like they don't follow the man-made religious part of it. They just do it because it's tradition, or like they don't actually believe in the shit. They're just
Right.
culturally Jewish.
But I'm asking like what things make someone culturally Jewish?
I
Because
don't know.
because I don't even, well that's what I'm saying. I don't even think that those people are even really culturally Jewish at all either. Well, I think
Like
they're
they'll
like
go home
they're
to pretend to their parents. I don't know. They know all the shit, and like they pretend to like do all the holidays, but like they don't actually believe in it. I guess.
no, I don't think they really do that at all. I mean, I think they're lizard people. That's who what I think. That I would much be more willing to entertain then
You've never talked to people that are Jewish, but like they don't like subscribe to Judaism. Like they talk about like Jews, like their heritage and all that shit, and like all the traditions. Like you've never talked to those kind
most
of people.
yeah, and they're all assholes. They're like the least Jewish people. It's like all of like
Okay,
it's like Mexican Americans where like they can't shut up about all this Mexican stuff, and they're culturally like more American, and like they're just I'm like guys like I am more Mexican than you are.
I think we're playing a semantics game. I think we believe the same shit. I'm just That's my point. Is that people that are like, I guess,
I'm just trying to say
genetically
why.
Jewish but not culturally, I guess is a better way to say
No, but
it.
I'm just ultimately trying to just show why I just don't buy this whole Jewish conspiracy thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just think like you have to follow patterns. Like there's patterns are there for a reason. So it's like what I mean. I mean, me personally, if I'm kind of playing devil's advocate a little bit. I don't want people to think that I actually subscribe to this bullshit. But I think like, and if you're to ask my opinion, I think it's just because like why there's a Chinatown or a Vietnamese town or a little Haiti. Like it's just because people tend to look out for their own kind of thing. So it's like that's just ingrained into our society. It says like if you have a uncle that's a director and you want to get into that medium, no better person to know. You know what I mean? It's just family looks out for each other. So I think that's the reason why so many of the same types of people are where they are.
I'm sure I've mentioned this on the podcast before. Like this whole amount of options we have to like do with our lives, that's like unprecedented in human history because similar to other things I said like it was just literally 60 years ago from then to like the beginning of time, right? Like that's a lot of things actually. But with this one, you literally just did what you did because that's what your dad did. There was none of
Yeah.
this like, do I want to go to college? Do I want to take a gap year? Do I want to study? It's like no, like you just like a lot of people from poor countries, they're just like, yeah, I just did that because that's what my dad did, and just that's how it worked out. Because it's like you're not gonna just leave your family and go to work for some like it just they don't have those same trust levels and things. Well, we don't even really have that either. Like literally, most of like the country doesn't even trust their fellow countrymen. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Why would you?
I don't know. I assume there's also a lot of pressure for the parents putting on the kids to go into something lucrative like being a lawyer or being somewhere high up in media because I like you talk to people that have like Asian or South Asian like their parents are always pushing
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
like
Like
it's this
Indians. Yeah.
yeah, it's not a stereotype of like, oh, they just want to be doctors or whatever. It's like no, like their parents are really pushing them to do very lucrative fields even if they don't want to do it. So like
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's
because
not a stereotype, that's a cultural thing.
there's doctors of like every ethnicity. Like I don't really think of
Yeah.
like a doctor as any particular. I know doctors of all ethnicities. Like
All of my doctors have been white, funny enough.
really, okay.
Yeah, I've never had an Asian or Indian doctor.
Jason is a
But
white supremacist.
hell yeah. That's right.
Oh man.
They're
And then
responsible for my health.
we get yeah, because I don't trust these other people doing my no. Okay, dude, we're gonna get canceled,
Why
guys.
do you care?
We don't we don't believe any of this.
Drag
We're
me down
just
with you, bitch.
right. Well, but like I know everyone says like lawyers are all Jewish. I know plenty of lawyers who aren't. Well,
That's the
actually,
thing. Like, I don't think like it's not like it doesn't make sense to say all lawyers are Jewish. Like, yeah, there's a lot of Jewish lawyers, and that's the stereotype. But like, there are a lot of Jewish lawyers. That's simple.
all right, that's not like a bad thing. I mean,
No.
actually, but like people do get kind of racist because that's like a lot of them do are just lawyers because that's like the only things that Jews could do. Like banking, like in Western Europe, is just like banking, lawyer, and like you could be a tailor or like a farmer, and that was it.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of that stuff just I just did that because that's what my dad did. um,
I don't know.
that's
I just
literally gonna be like a quote. I'm just gonna like have a shirt that has like it just says I did it because my dad did it.
You know what's
Right.
really creepy? I read
What?
this as a headline. This is something I literally just scrolled past and saw it in fleeting. I don't know if it's like an Onion article, if it was a joke, or if it was false or whatever. But it's
Right.
basically like the most disturbing thing you're gonna hear is that is that fetishes are hereditary.
That is
Uh,
actually is really creepy.
that's fucking dude. Could you imagine like your dad liking the same exact shit you do?
That's kind of, but then also I'm like, that actually isn't that far off from like what I expected. But also like, man,
Bro. Dude, I don't know about you, but like fuck. That's a fucking really creepy thought to me. Because like I like my the way I see my dad is so like I can't like I don't have that like this is the girl I just fucked relationship with my dad. Some people do have that with their parents, but like I don't have that with my dad at all. So it's like to even have like a conversation about someone that I like or like sometimes like I've been with people where like the dad's like look at the ass on that girl and the son's like oh shit like that's like it cannot be further from my relationship with my dad. So
right,
like the fact that like I just think of him in that way is just like oh my god, and if he's like exactly like me it's like oh shit that's even worse.
right.
Fuck.
Oh man, that's opened up the third eye of truth.
Yeah, I hope that's not true because that's really fucking weird. I
Cause
feel
like,
like you have to have all your fetishes after you have kids. So you can't pass on that genetic monstrosity.
does everyone have a fetish, or is that just because everything is so sexualized now?
I feel like it's part of it. I don't know. I mean, if you went to the 1800s and asked people what they liked, they might say some weird shit. I don't think it's
I
relative to.
I wonder though, because I don't really know what to think about that.
I mean, everyone finds certain things attractive. It just like depends on how weird they are. But I
Oh,
feel like
right,
now that
like
you're able to
fetish
access it
though, like
instantly, I feel like everyone has more weirder taste because you're able to look it up and be like, "Oh, this is a thing." You
right.
know what I
This is
mean?
like because back in the day, I think Bill Maher said this. He was like, back in the day, if you were like a weirdo and liked weird stuff, like you thought that like you were the only one, right? And like you weren't like you didn't like really ever have the courage to like say. Well, I hate to say courage because that's just not a good. That's I'm giving them too much credit.
Stunning and brave.
Right, like you didn't really want to come out and talk about it because you just figured you were the only one, right? But now,
It
you
does take
know,
balls though to like admit that shit, especially if it's really weird. Like that does take balls, whether it's
what's like
positive or not.
what's like the weirdest thing you've
I don't know. I I remember one that was really funny. That me and my friends used to look at. We would like go and look up weird shit and like put it on my friend's TV in the basement. We'd just stay up all night watching weird shit, but like not even just porn, just like people getting their heads cut off and just like really just gross weird shit like that, just
right?
because it was edgy. And like the funniest one that we found, I don't even know how we came across it. It was like really obese women like sitting on cakes and like farting on them, and that was the fetish.
What?
Yeah, like they are all like they would like take powder, like they would put baby powder and they would just like fart into the camera. So that shit was fucking funny. And, like it's not like, but I think it's a weird fetish because like it's not inherently sexual. Like it isn't like they're not like
Yeah, but what
having.
makes it weird is if it were, if someone were actually to, but
Well, you know, you're sexually aroused by someone not doing something sexual.
yeah,
You know what I
that
mean? Like,
that's when
yeah,
it gets weird, you know.
yeah,
Wait, but like the whole feet thing, like I don't even understand that.
yeah. That's kind of the same premise because like we don't consider like we consider like
Because
people's
that's not
boobs and
like a
their
right. Because like feet aren't a sexual organ.
yeah. Well, like neither. I mean, I don't think people don't consider boobs a sexual organ. Obviously, they're
No,
highly sexualized,
I think they are considered that.
but they're not used for reproduction. They're used for like when the baby's already born to give it nutrients. You know what I mean? Like, is that considered a sexual organ?
I I don't know. Look this up, Jason. I need you to do this.
I
Or
guess technically it is because like, if they're big enough and you can fucking get them in between, then yeah, you could use it as a sex organ. So I guess nowadays, yeah, all the
or let's
hormones in the
see.
chicken.
Reproductive organs.
Well, it's definitely not a reproductive organ,
Let's see.
but neither is your asshole too. So.
They produce milk to supply to an infant. However, are considered a part of the reproductive system of a woman. Okay, so
Oh, okay. So I guess
yeah.
it is by definition. So besides that, like feet, yeah, not part of it. But people are so attracted to it.
Yeah, that's just like weird.
But you can
That's
do it with
what like
anything. It's like My Strange Addiction. Like you can find one person to be sexually attracted to literally anything. I was watching this one girl that was like in a relationship with a carnival ride. There's like a word for people that have like either a sexual attraction or like a relationship attraction to inanimate objects. There's a couple people floating around that feel that way.
Oh man, where
Like
have
the
we
dude,
gone?
this guy, dude, you should watch this. It's a good show. He was in a relationship with his car. So he like, he would like, he's like, this is the most, this is the most sensual position. I get underneath the car and I start making out with the bumper. He likes to feel that.
No,
Dude, he's
but
like, it's like a,
that just
yeah.
sounds like a joke. Like, does anyone
I don't think he was joking.
Does anyone actually like who is mentally well? Okay, I don't. Like, can you actually genuinely do that or like that and be like mentally stable? Like, I think you have to be mentally ill.
It's something, but like how to a degree. Like I feel like people like they hold jobs, they have a functioning thing. They just kind of they're just weird in their own time. I feel like if they can't distinguish reality, because like they realize it's not real. Like he's not fantasizing that his car is a real person. He's just sexually attracted to it.
But I still don't necessarily think that like I don't think like being normal. I Wait, what am I trying to say? I still think that is like mentally ill though. Even if like you still hold a job or whatever, like that's regardless. Like a bunch of people are mentally ill who hold a job.
I think
I
I
mean
don't know.
like
I mean,
mentally ill, like you can't function in society or whatever. Like
I think
you're
like
on the
that's the
streets
definition.
like doing.
I don't know the true definition, but I feel like to me an illness is something that hinders you from living your daily life. It's like I feel like if you can like hold a normal job and not be a danger to yourself and others, and you're not miserable, like is that really an illness, or they're just really fucking weird? You know what I mean? Like I feel like it'd be a mental illness if he could not distinguish a car from a real person, and like he just like started going insane and started to like I don't know, just started to like
Mhm.
how am I trying to
No,
say?
I
It's
know.
like
I know what you're saying.
yeah, so it's like I don't know, like I feel like you cross the line into mental illness when it starts affecting you negatively or other people negatively.
Yeah. Shit. It's late.
This was a
Um,
whirlwind. Fucking
this was here, there, back and forth, up and down, side to side, X and Y, everything, dude.
hell yeah.
I have the analytics for our podcast on RSS. The
Oh
number
shit.
one downloading location, guess where it is? You'll never guess it.
Sudan.
No.
I don't know. Somewhere in South America, I would guess, because a lot of Latin stuff.
No.
Idaho.
No.
Mm,
It's in Europe.
Estonia.
No, but like
I have no fucking say. I don't.
that's a good guess. It's Brussels, Belgium.
How many downloads?
36.
Hell yeah, dude. All from Belgium. All from Brussels too. Damn. We
Yeah,
should
I
do a
know.
fan meetup. We're
Yeah.
doing a fan meetup in
Yeah.
Brussels.
Dude, I gotta shout him out. Be like, thanks to our boys in Brussels for supporting the
Yeah,
show.
put Belgian in the tags. So
Yeah.
we're gonna grow our we're gonna grow our Belgian audience. Start listening to Belgian
Oh
rap.
yeah. Belgian rap. Um, the second, like number two location is San Jose, California.
Weird.
I know. It's like what? Some of them. Okay, one of them it just says it's the third is just United States and it just says like kind of general all the places around places. I guess they don't want to say the city for some reason. After that is Ashburn, Virginia.
Yeah, it's gotta be local.
Right, and then after that, finally at number five is Manassas.
Yay.
25 downloads. I wonder who's listening, man. If you're listening
Manassas.
right now, send me a message. I want to know.
We're
what
not
you
doing a
think of the
fandom
show.
meetup in Manassas.
Well, I'm sure we already do that because I don't know who the hell's listening to my show.
Yeah, go to the Harris Pavilion. We'll go ice skating with you.
Okay. After that is Philadelphia.
Ugh. I don't want anybody from Philly listening to our podcast. I'm segmenting our audience. You
All
guys
right.
aren't allowed to listen to us.
We'll lose 5 people.
Well, that's fine. Yes. You guys got to fix your front porch before you can listen to our podcast.
You gotta fix like your goddamn city though. Well, I could say that about a bunch of places, like a bunch of people in this. After that
Hell
is,
yeah.
is Amsterdam.
Shit.
After
It's probably
that
from my
is
free form ideas.
right now. What we got is Dubai.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep. After that is Chisinau of Moldova. What the fuck?
Moldova? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
what the fuck? Now we have.
Y'all have internet out there?
I know, really. Now we have Bassano del Grappa, Italy.
Nice.
Council Bluffs. It doesn't say what state it's in, but it's American.
I like to think
Um,
that they don't speak English and they're listening to it with like the shitty YouTube closed captions.
oh yeah, that wouldn't be entertaining. After that, is San Francisco.
Will's favorite city.
Yep. Madison, I don't know where that is. Pelham, I don't know where that is. Phoenix City. Is that like a is it like oh no, that's Phoenix, Arizona. I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Washington. I assume that means Washington D.C. So that's
If it doesn't say DC, it's probably state.
no, but it's all of these are cities.
Oh, yeah.
Lafayette, Louisiana, baby. One person. Oh yeah,
Got the
got
local viewers.
got one local viewer, baby. I don't even know if they're even listening to it because I don't even know how many of these people actually listen to it.
We gotta pump up our sub-Saharan Africa numbers.
Right. All right. Now we got San Salvador, El Salvador. All right. Thank you. Now we got Bari, Italy. Wrocław, Poland. Uh, we got one dude in Casablanca, Morocco.
Oh shit! It's probably from our Babel review.
Oh yeah, that it probably is what it was. And then one guy in Brooklyn, one guy in Buffalo, one guy in Los Angeles, one guy in Melbourne, one guy in Nuevo Cuscatlan, El Salvador, and then lastly, one person in San Pedro Sula, Honduras. Thank you to all these people. I don't know if you actually listen to it or not. If you do, that's much appreciated. Um, I wonder if this adds all up to like 100. Wait, yeah, no, it does more than that. Cool. Okay.
I don't know, but it's crazy that you can just pinpoint where everyone's listening.
Yep, it's because the government is spying on us.
People use VPNs.
Yep. ExpressVPN. That's like it's like all this stuff like where it's like the stereotypical ads. We're gonna get like the whole ExpressVPN or like the
Are
Raycon
you scared of
earbuds.
the? Are you scared of the Jewish elite hacking your Gmail? NordVPN sponsor us.
That would be so funny if like Ben Shapiro said that and he was like
Is Ben
self-aware. He
Shapiro one
was.
of the good Jews?
I would say he is. And he's like, "Are you worried about yeah, he's like, "Are you worried about all these people that say they're Jewish but they're not actually Jewish doing
Today we're talking about the myth of the female orgasm.
Yeah, that yeah, we don't need to talk about that cuz everything else he says, I'm pretty much on the same page with him, but that well, actually not everything. There's actually a bunch of stuff I disagree with him about. But that was just kind of stupid.
Dude, that was the funniest shit ever. My God.
Well, like he just shouldn't really be talking about that stuff
There's
at
no such
all.
thing as a wet ass pussy. My wife would know.
Right, that was kind of weird.
Like, why do you care, Ben? Fucking move on. People's can be dry or wet.
Well, that's exactly because that's why I'm like, can you just talk about like something that isn't that? Because when I hear him, I don't want to hear him talk about that. I want to hear him talk
Yeah,
about, I want to hear him wrecking the libs. I don't want to hear him. Um. So anyway, we are on Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, Podcast Index, Listen Notes, RSS, Apple Podcasts. We could be on Google Podcasts. We could be on Pandora, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or Deezer. I don't know what any of those last. Okay, I know iHeartRadio, but yeah, I don't want to be on iHeartRadio because I don't heart the radio.
Fuck the radio, bro.
Who listens to radio? Like, how do they still make money? I don't.
Boomers.
But how do they make money? Like, just from I know
I
it's
don't
from
know.
ad revenue, but people like listen to it.
I have no idea. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, well, I think it's time to call it kaputs.
Tune in next episode. We talk about they them sloppy toppy. Is it gay? Find out.
Yes. Spoiler alert. Yes. Um, so I think I want to do a movie for this next one.
Great. Can't wait. Look forward to it. Wonderful.
Yep, it's gonna be moist. And people go back to saying that. I don't understand why people stopped saying that.
Is that your fetish? You like moist things?
In what aspect?
William, where's the cottage cheese? We had half a can.
Oh, wait, what even is cottage cheese? Like, seriously.
It's like regular cheese's yeast infection. I don't know.
Oh, that's okay. Well, anyway, what was I talking about?
Rip.
Yep, let's just end it here, or else the podcast is gonna
Fucking go
get.
home. Get
Yep,
out of
it's
here.
gonna get really bad. All right, see you
Go.
guys. I appreciate
Bye.
it. Bye.